Yeah, look, they said that I couldn't do it, so I went and did it. W's only, you know I've been winning. Top of the world, the globe is spinning. If you know, you know I've been on a what? Mission. Go. Okay, let's get it. Got a little time on my hands like a wristwatch. I don't got time for the brakes and a pit stop. Race through the gridlock, take it like Chris Rock. Right to the chin, still win. Heavy metals like Slipknot. Got the driving, I got tunnel vision. I just hit my stride the way I run the business. I've been making paper like I'm Dunder Mifflin. See the end game, I got one division. Look, I don't ever bother with a critic. Hit him with a chronicle of Riddick. Boom, bottle full of Ritalin. I hit him with a little bit of riddle me this, riddle me that. My bad, fell asleep at the gas. No time to wait though. Elon Musk, I'm trying to bankroll. New Tesla just cause I say so. Electric whip like Ivan Van Gogh. I just did it. W's only, you know I've been winning. Top of the world, the globe is spinning. If you know, you know I've been on a mission. Okay, let's get it.
I've been on a mission like totally spice. I'm my baddie, she bad, but she totally nice. Stil zo blue en het toes wil ik white. Ik compie niet met jou, dat is all for my leg. You do it for sure, but he left with a why. Yeah, we live, but we destined to die. And you say it on me, but I man then I lie. I'm a lie en ik voel me net Memphis de paai. En ik jag op de goed in de scene. Moest eigenlijk rennen, we lopen misschien. En ik wil niet eens kijken, mijn ogen die zien. Is er niet genoeg dat ik kopen we 10. Proef in de bean. Hier co-star. I got 5 for my name, I got no star. Come to me just to see how my shows are.
They said that I couldn't do it, so I went and did it. W's only, you know I've been winning. Top of the world, the globe is spinning. If you know, you know I've been on a what? Mission. Go. Okay, let's get it.
I don't take advice from anybody who gon' tell me how to do it if they never even did it right. These days I don't waste a minute of my time reminiscing on regrets of the past. That's a different life. These days I don't need nobody's validation. These days I don't need nobody's invitation. These days I don't tell nobody what I'm doing. I just do it. If I fail, keep it pushing till I get it right.
Yeah, these days I've been wide awake, I never sleep late. Got a lot to do, I treat a Sunday like a weekday. Do it for my son, set the table, I need 3 plates. Have my cake and eat it, baby, don't forget the cheesecake. Got it, yeah, they know I got it. Confidence contagious, so the ones around me caught it. Everybody waiting on me, hoping I'ma drop it. I feel like all this weight is on me, still I'm never stopping. No, that is not a, yeah, pushing myself to the limit. I set a goal, but still I never feel enough when I get it. Cause when I go and all these feelings overflow to the ceiling, it's like a hole just open up and I don't know how to feel it. I tell them, look, I don't make mistakes, the mistakes made me. Drop songs when I write them, I don't wait 8 weeks. They do focus on the image now, but that ain't me. Lot of rats taking pics, that's why they say cheese. Lately I've been feeling like there's something off. A lot of friends used to show me love, ain't showing love at all. Yeah, only cheer me on when I was underdog. Running up the numbers, everybody keep on running off. Funny how they wanted me to win until I passed them. Now all of a sudden they be talking in the past tense. He was this, he was that, like I changed up. Had a kid, I'm a dad, gotta make funds these days. Everybody focus on the he say and she say. Acting up and trying to make a scene like a screenplay. Try to be original but end up as a remake. Spend a lot of time thinking about how I'ma be great. I just stick to the plan. Yeah, I'm focused on the music, not a pic for the gram. Stay true to my supporters, yes, I did it for them. So even when I get hot, never switch on a fan.
These days I don't take advice from anybody who gon' tell me how to do it if they never even did it right. These days I don't waste a minute of my time reminiscing on regrets of the past. That's a different life. These days I don't need nobody's validation. These days I don't need nobody's invitation. These days I don't tell nobody what I'm doing. I just do it. If I fail, keep it pushing till I get it right.
Whoa. Alright, let's do it. Dad said don't hold back, go get that, don't hesitate. Mom said just step back and slow it down, go meditate. Told myself stay humble, don't say it all with your chest out. But my girl keeps on telling me that I'm the best out. Lot of plates I keep spinning, can't stop. Lot of stakes rise, I keep winning. Blindfolded, find a way, wave high and just keep grinning. No time for the minor things, do a lot of things. When you write the bio, please don't forget you better hyphenate that. Look, Pure talent, no payola. Take over like Jehovah. Hit the notch, that's race over. Brakes broken, I ain't slowing. Outshining, no change showing. 4 clubs, I ain't folding. Beating me, you got a better chance of getting Drake listening to Daytona. 2C slide in the DMs, we started off on the right foot. What a time to be alive, been seeing my future, my life good. Couldn't duplicate what I'm doing, even if you took my rhyme book. My mind took me all the way, straight line moving like my rook. I'm playing chess and I do not check on my mates, cause I don't have time for no friends. I know it's bad, but all my priorities shifted when I saw what I had on hand. I got a window that's not gonna be open forever, so I gotta take what I can. I cannot be shaking.
Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the Pokemon Unite Coronation League. I really do greatly appreciate every single one of you guys. I am Rhino Gaming, and that is my daughter, by the way. She is amazing. Her name is Jackie. But I do want to say thank you guys, everybody. But we are in week 10. I am so super excited as we have 3 great matches today. I am on baby duty today and tomorrow, so we are going to have the face of the company or the face of the league up and live and ready, as she will also be doing the emotes for the next coming season, as well as I've kind of decided what exactly I'm going to do as emotes. But without further ado, we have Chopper PR today and Lily the Goddess themselves as the casters, and I am greatly appreciative of both of them taking over, and I am excited as we're going to go ahead and get into match number 1 and how to talk about it and let them talk about all the picks and bans as well and what it means to be in the league as of this week going into the following playoff bracket as well. So you guys go ahead and start it off, and I will see you guys on the flip side.
Thank you so much, Rhino, to the Unite World Coronation League week number 10. It is the final week of the regular season. I am Chopper PR, and my fellow caster is going to be today Lily the Goddess. I could have not asked for a better partner today to wrap up the league. How you doing today? Everything all right?
I'm doing great. You're too kind. You're too kind, Chopper. And we do have 2 fantastic games for you. We have 3 fantastic games for you today. First, we have Team Drip versus Jungle Griefers. Team Drip with a 7-2, and Jungle Griefers also with a 7-2. They are 2 even teams currently, and 2 fantastically solid teams. And we both saw that. I do believe we casted both teams last time, but they were in different games, I do believe. So that is very funny, very coincidental. But I'm very excited to see these games today. What about you, Chopper? How are you thinking?
Just as well. This game is going to be super important when it comes to the playoff race as well, Lily. Whoever wins this match actually has a lot of, besides the bragging rights, they do have an advantage in the bracket. Whoever wins this match actually advances on to the next stage of the bracket, so they have to play 1 less set, going 1 step closer to that top 4 playoff double elimination. Other than that, we're going to have today Ikigai no Tsurugi versus Elite Force, and rounding up today with Super Squirtle Squad versus Dark Aura. Super important match for Super Squirtle Squad. Now, last week we did see them actually get that W versus Magikarp Clan, meaning that Magikarp Clan's destiny is not in their hands anymore. If Super Squirtle Squad manages to take this one, they do qualify for playoffs.
Indeed, Super Squirtle Squad getting the very first real win of the entire league, and I hope they're able to take another one down with Dark Aura coming just at 9 p.m. CST or around. But you are correct. Whoever wins this current game will be able to go up brackets. Though I'm not entirely sure what exactly that means. So can you explain to them how exactly that will go out with the matches we have with the Pokemon Unite Coronation League brackets?
Thank you for asking, Lily. Now we are seeing the corresponding bracket right in front of us, the Pokemon Coronation League playoff bracket. We are going to have 3 stages that are going to be a gauntlet match where the lowest seeded teams are going to start participating as you continue on the top 2 teams already classified for double elimination. Whoever wins the respective matches are going to have the are going to be able to qualify for said double elimination. And as you can see, round 2, Team Drip is in there. Round 3 for Jungle Griefers. So if Team Drip actually manages to get a W today, those 2 teams will be inverted. So a lot to play for on this first match.
Indeed, and I believe we did see Team Drip beat Wasted Potential last stream, or at least a few streams ago. So I do believe, shouldn't they actually be switched, or is that for Rayquaza and for the what was the other bracket? It's Rayquaza and not Suicune bracket.
Zapdos. It's Zapdos. And as soon as this is the beauty of the system that Rhino actually currently implemented, the corresponding divisions were made just to get the top seeds of each bracket, and then everybody else just gets together for the playoffs, right? So as soon as you get to playoff, whether you were in Zapdos or Rayquaza, doesn't really matter. That way we can have the best teams duke it out no matter what division they were currently in, and that gives them a slight advantage if you did better in one division rather than the other one. So it's a very good opportunity for the teams to actually reward them for how they played throughout the course of these 10 past weeks.
I see. That is a very good way to do it. Thank you for describing it and explaining it to me. Allowing teams who have proceeded well to still get a good bit of a bit of an extra early lead or advantage, but not leaving the teams that maybe didn't perform so well or had a bit of a rocky start off to maybe just, not really just find the dust. They still have a very good fighting chance, just like in the game itself. It's never over till the very second.
Absolutely, Lily. And that's exactly why you are seeing both Jungle Griefers and Dark Aura in the round 3 bracket side, even though they actually correspond to the same division. Both teams have actually participated and have done tremendously. So we're not going to sacrifice either Jungle Griefers or Team Morris performance due to the fact that they actually played so well throughout the course of the weeks. That's why we have that system implemented, and that's why we made said changes towards the format. So going back to that first game, it's going to be hashtag Team Drip and Jungle Griefers. It could be something very, very spicy if we see Rixelpick actually debuting for Team Drip.
I completely forgot about the Rixelpick fiasco. Thank you for reminding me. We do, in fact, Rixelpick, they were on Jungle Griefers' team, but they did switch over to Team Drip just last week. And we could, in fact, as you said, be seeing them fighting against their alt team. I don't believe we've had anything like that in the league so far. It will be a first if they do end up bringing him in. I don't know if they will. I'm not sure what Team Drip's current team situation is, but if that does end up happening, oh boy, that is going to be that's going to be very exciting and very clip worthy. I cannot wait to see that. So
I cannot wait to see it either. In the meantime, while we get all those teams prepared for today, we need to talk about the changes that we received in the current patch, Lily. Now, there weren't really that many balance adjustments from the previous time, but we did see a lot of bug fixes that are so important, meaning every single Mon right now is going to be available for all the teams with the exception of Zacian, just giving him that 2-week period just because it's a new Pokemon. But every other Pokemon is going to be ready and available for the teams to actually explore.
Indeed, of course, we do not expect people to have to buy a Pokemon just to be competitively viable in this league. So, which is why we are keeping Zacian locked down currently, at least for the next week or so, until more people have it through the event. But as you said, all Pokemon that were banned besides Zacian are now free. So, what do you think of all the mons that were banned? Delphox, Glaceon. Which one do you think is going to have the most room to run free? Who do you think we're going to be seeing the most here today?
I'm thinking Delphox is going to be the number 1 pick right now.
I'm thinking I'm thinking
Yeah.
Glaceon,
Okay,
honestly. That's
okay. So
Glaceon.
this is how we gonna do it. Okay, so I'm gonna bring up why I think so, and then you put the counter argument. Okay, so
Mhm.
the reason why I think Delphox is gonna see a lot more play this time around is because most of the meta has been concentrated on it being very heal based. A lot of double support comms have actually gotten a lot of priority. Comfy has been played a lot. Blissey, obviously, one of the best characters, one of the best supporters in the game right now. Clefable actually getting a lot of spotlight. If you have Delphox, you have anti-healing, the only anti-healing in the game. You could be able to actually duke it out, especially when you have that extra mobility if you're going to go Flame Charge Mystical Fire, as well as actually having enough Unite moves out of the wazoo to continue to handle a zone that you can fight in to avoid those double support comms. I think that is why Delphox is going to be super critical for this week and for the next weeks to come, as it is what I figure what is going to be an anti-metamon.
You are absolutely correct. Delphox definitely one of the best anti-meta choices that the teams have. But on the other side, Glaceon, I've been seeing it a lot in solo queue in teams, and it is, in my opinion, from what I've seen, one of the best jungler Pokemon. And as we've been seeing now, the jungler picks, they're really kind of, I'll say, not very numerous, we'll say,
Okay.
for the effective jungle picks. And as for the sort of large amount of healing going on. Glaceon, of course, being one of the best burst damage mon in the entire game. It's just half your health gone in a single second. Plus, I definitely think Glaceon beats the Delphox one-on-one, so if they want to go that route, Glaceon can definitely be a pretty effective Delphox, or Glaceon can be a pretty effective Delphox counter, especially if they end up going Flame, Flame Spin or Fire Spin, thanks to Glaceon's passive. So personally, I think Glaceon's going to be seeing a bit more, especially since I know a good amount of players in these teams do very much enjoy their Glaceon, but I know a lot of them really enjoy their Delphox too. So, and heck, you might just keep seeing Espeon instead of Glaceon, but we'll just have to wait and see.
Very solid points by Lily overall. I will agree to disagree, and we will see who gets picked more in this week number 10. And that from that, we're actually going to go into one of my favorite segments. We're going to be the sleeper mons. Lily, which Pokemon do you think right now in the current meta is currently slept on, underrated, not quite being used to its full potential?
Current slept on Mon. I would have to go for maybe some Aegislash. I think Aegislash is a very good mon, as we've seen with tank comps or against anti-tank or against tank comps. Of course, we have been seeing a bit more. We've been seeing, I would assume if you're going to pick him, he would be going into the top lane, which is a very contested lane for a lot of very good mon, and I think he wins most fights against a lot of the top picks. I mean, he's difficult to kill. He can get stacks in very easily, and with those stacks, he has some of the best stacking in the game, especially for an all-rounder. But I think he's just very good against the current meta. He shreds quickly. He has a great secure, and there's not much you can do against him, really. There's not much, especially with all the top picks. Not much. Just Gardevoir can't really do much. Espeon can kind of deal with it, but who knows? With the new Glaceon, Scyther, Scizor, and Delphox being added in, maybe a Sash won't be a top pick anymore, or maybe just won't really be in team sights this time around.
A very interesting pick right there, and definitely a Pokemon that requires a lot of execution, especially if you want to actually put it in a proper composition. It's part of the reason why we actually don't see it that much, Lilia. Maybe do you think that most players just opt for mons that might be a little easier to actually take advantage, considering the plethora of all-rounders that we actually have available, like that's the T-Tars, the Buzzwells of the world, or how do you think Aegislash actually matches up versus all the other all-rounders in the current meta?
I definitely do think H-Slash is one of the most difficult Pokemon to learn, up there with E-Speed Lucario and maybe even Garchomp. But I think it still has a very good matchup against nearly all the other all-rounders besides, of course, Tyranitar, who is arguably the best all-rounder currently, besides Zacian, but we do not count him. Or maybe even, or actually no, maybe possibly Urshifu too. He doesn't do very well against that. But Machamp, Lucio, Buzzwole, even kind of Garchomp, he kind of just destroys all of them. Of course, Charizard, but he's not even that good anymore, sadly. But I do think that I I think if you're going to pick him, he's a very good pick. It's in the same vein as Garchomp. The teams, if it does perform well, other team is left with the choice of either maybe taking it for themselves, even though most teams haven't already picked it up or haven't picked it up already. So you're kind of just left with a 4v5 situation with an Aegislash on your team if you don't know how to play it, or you waste a ban on it, which I think same thing with Garchomp. It's a very good pick to sort of mess with the enemy team in this pick and ban format. But besides that, I do see where you're coming from. Definitely has a good bit of flaring issues and a lot of really good competition. But I think we may be able to see it shine through at least one game today.
Okay. Very interesting take from Lily, and I agree with you. Aegislash is one of those characters that can really make a difference when it comes to these draft phases. Now, for those of you who are just previously tuning in, we do have a different ban system. Instead of using the draft mode from the same game from Pokemon Unite, we do have our own banning system with the beautiful charts and a beautiful Excel sheet that's currently being used too. 3 bans for each team, so it's a total of 6 bans, and it really fletches out the need for the Pokemon pool for the respective players throughout the series. As for myself, I believe that one of the most underrated Pokemon right now, and continues to be throughout the course of the entire league, the first season, I believe Greedent is actually ridiculously underrated right now.
That is true.
I think it's one of those defenders that can do everything that you need it to if you know how to use it well. Jungle Invades has falling off the meta because most of the teams have actually gotten a lot better in protecting their respective jungles. But at the same time, Greedent is one of those Pokemon that is the definition of sustain in a meta that emphasizes the extension of long team fights, constantly healing. If you pair it with a Comfey and you pair it with another support, you already need 2 attackers and you're going to be good. That front line from Greedent is pretty much going to start wrecking everybody. The mobility is there. The damage is going to be there depending on the bullet seed or different other taxes that you're going to have available to them, as well as objective control. We have seen Greedent actually trying to go in between the corresponding teams. A lot of people get distracted and just starts focusing on the big squirrel and do not focus on trying to hit the rest of the attackers. It's a great opportunity for you to branch out onto different areas, and the compositions wise, I think it's going to be a priority target for most teams. Additional to the fact that, well, again, it is just one of those characters that can be very, 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 very annoying to play against.
You are 100% right. Yet again, Greedent, I do love to see Greedent. It's one of my favorite Pokemon to play and to watch. I feel like a lot of people feel the exact same way. But again, Greedent's kind of a hard Pokemon to kind of learn, to teach. So, of course, we all know the famous Greedent players, RDU, maybe if you know Succubus, or what's another one? I cannot name another one. I know there are 5. There are some others that besides what's his name? The person I can't I forgot his name. But Green, a character who is not played by all, but by those who do play it, they are absolutely destructive. And sadly, I just don't think we have many of those destructive Green players in our league currently. Maybe we'll see some next season. But I do agree with you. I would love to see some Green this time. And hey, maybe we'll see some more Jungle Griefers. It would fit their name.
Now, for the next segment, we're going to actually flip the script a little bit while we wait for the commissioner to tell us if we are ready. We're just about to start off with the first draft tonight. The rest is going to be the overrated Pokemon in the league right now. So there are some Pokemon that just keep getting picked, and we can't understand why when you have other Pokemon that are just simply better. So, Lily, I'm going to put you on the spot. Who do you think is an overrated Mon right now?
Easy. Mew. Mew, I think it's a
Oh,
it is a good mon. It is a good mon that it is a combination of what other mon do well. But I don't think it does any of them perfectly. Of course, we have seen some fantastic Mews, and I do think some of the way some people use it, it is the best of what it does. But in terms of other things, like I don't know, it's not the best in secure. It's not really the best in defending its lane. It can't really push that well. It's kind of drops off around the mid area and picks up just a small bit towards the end. Of course, this is just in my opinion, but also Mew is just not that enjoyable to watch in most situations. Of course, my general opinion, I know a ton of people absolutely adore watching Mew, and I know a ton of people absolutely love playing Mew. Cough, cough, mixed meds. But I don't know. I think we've just been seeing too much of it. I would love to see some more interesting, maybe some more diverse set of ranged attackers in their lanes. Maybe, of course, I'm saying this while Duraludon, maybe Glaceon this time around, even just some Decidueye Blastoise, or just some like Eldegoss even. I don't know. I just think Sylveon. I think there are a lot of very good Pokemon that Mew sadly has just sort of taken over their roles and taken over their time with the spotlight. And I think it's time to cut him out.
well, that's a bit of a spicy take, Lily. Mew
Hey,
considered to be many one of the best laners in the game right now, just because of all the utility and the versatility that they have in the said Pokemon. So, interesting take. Don't quite agree with it. We will agree to disagree with that.
that
But
is
that's the
fair.
point. That's completely fine. That's why we're having these types of conversations, just to see the different perspectives that a player can actually have throughout the course of Unite. As for me, I think, let's see, who am I gonna pick
Maybe a
for most
Tyranitar.
overrated? That's another spicy one.
I mean,
But
I don't actually believe Tyranitar. I was giving you
okay,
some
okay, okay.
ideas. No,
No, no,
Tyranitar's
just
busted, please.
no. Tyranitar is definitely busted, so it's not gonna be
Mhm.
my pick right now. Damn,
Maybe
who's
some Zacian. It's not that good.
no, 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 no. So, okay, so this Pokemon is not exactly as prevalent as a lot of the other Pokemon that are actually better right now, but I have seen it a lot in the league. I have seen it a lot locally, and I question why they continue to use it. And it's between him and another one, but I'm gonna start off with Charizard.
Mm.
Charizard, I think, is one of the worst Pokemon in the game right now. The changes that they made, that they can no longer ignore the defense and special defense, actually destroyed this mon. The only way that you can actually make them as effective as you possibly can is in 1v1 scenarios, which, if you have a coordinated team, you can actually just make sure that it just does not go online throughout the course of it. So I would say Charizard is definitely my pick for overrated. Now, however, Lily, we are seeing the draft phase for Team Drip and Jungle Griefers. Azumarill, Zeraora, Espeon, and Urshifu are the respective bands, and Team Drip actually going for Crustle with the first pick.
I had to silent clap for the Crustle pick on Team Drip, my lord. But we have Espeon and Urshifu banned for Jungle Leafers as they pick Clefable as their first pick. They're going Team Drip going to first pick Crustle. Apparently they really thought it was important. Maybe it was a misclick, I'd even go as far to say. But hey, I know Team Drip, they love trying out new stuff, they love to experiment, and we're going to see Tree and Wigglytuff. Tree for Team Drip and Wigglytuff for Jungle Griefers. I know maybe it wasn't you, maybe it was one of the other casters, but I know one of us really wanted to see some Wigglytuff, and oh my lord, are they doing what I
What
think
is
they're doing?
this?
I think I know what they're doing. I think
Okay,
I know
okay,
what
okay. Give us info. Give us info, Lily.
I think
Oh my God, what the?
I think we're gonna see a defenders versus support game right now. I believe there was some communication behind the league with Team Drip and Jungle Griefers. I believe we are about to see defenders, a 5v5 of defenders versus supports. Oh, this is going to be very fun to see if I am correct. Who knows? We might just end up seeing a Cinderace for the last pick instead.
Russell, Trevenant, and Greedent being picked on the side of Team Drip, on the side of Jungle Griefers, Clefable, Wigglytuff, and Eldegoss. I believe if there is ever going to be an AD carry on the side of the supports, it's going to be the Eldegoss, especially with the early game rapid fire Scarf. Eldegoss is something that we have seen beforehand. Trevenant has been hitting a lot harder considering the changes onto the green hammer. And we are seeing Hoopa
Oh
picked
my
as the
God.
fourth one. Yep, effectively. Week number 10 is going to be a spicy one. All defenders possibly versus all supports.
This is absolutely amazing. I'm trying to keep it professional, but we are going to see a defenders versus support team. Oh my lord. And
Yep.
it is, oh my, they really went through the time just to entertain us all of somehow. I wonder whose idea this was first. Like, do you think Team Drip thought of this or Jungle Griefers thought of this? I don't really know. And in that case, did they flip a coin as to which one got which? I
As far as I'm concerned, I do not know. All I know is it's going to be super hype and maybe a little difficult from the side of Jungle Griefers if you don't have enough damage to actually deal around and be able to fight against set defenders. Now, we have seen Mamoswine actually hitting like a truck, Trevenant hitting like a truck. Blastoise can work as an all-rounder if you go Rapid Spin, Water Spout. As far as support damage goes, who do you think should take the lead when it comes to damage besides the Mr. Mime that can actually put up those barriers and the Psychics actually push them away that does heavy damage?
I definitely think Eldegoss is gonna have the highest amount of damage. Of course, Eldegoss has been a meme since Unite basically came out, and I wouldn't say friends with the person who popularized Eldegoss, but I do know him. And I have seen firsthand Eldegoss can not easily, but semi-consistently get above 80k, 70k damage if you know what you're doing. And if they give it jungle, I wouldn't be shocked to see it. But
Getting into, go ahead. Yeah.
we are going to be having the picks in the game. We're going to see what they are running. We are running Experience Share Crustle, and I do believe we're going to see Blastoise and the Eldegoss in their jungles, respectively. Maybe even a Greedent Invade. I wouldn't be shocked to see that.
Mix Mads rocking the Hoopa, Muscle Band, Focus Band, and Slick Spoon. Dispenza actually going to go AD carry this time around for the team of Jungle Griefers. Russ Wiggly, K Frazier going for the support role, so that's going to be definitely the healer. On the side of Team Dip, we are having Blastoise actually rocking Focus Band with special attack glasses and the Slick Spoon. So if there's ever going to be a special attacker on their side, it's going to be him. Animated Eagle actually rocking double stacks, tech stacking, Raptor stacking. A lot of stacking on the side of Team Drip as well.
Yep, and I would bet good money that this Wigglytuff is going to end up being a rollout Wigglytuff, one of my favorite Pokemon to watch, because I don't think Sing's going to be that useful, but a rollout between all of them, just knocking them up constantly if they get into just a good little bit of a choke point, I think that can really change a team fight. But we will see what is happening. Maybe we'll see some Jungle Crustle.
Game number 1 for the Unite World Correlation League, week number 10. Jungle Griefers versus hashtag Team Drip. Everybody moving correspondingly. And this is a Mamoswine jungle.
Ooh.
Going to be rocking. On the bottom side, we're going to have the Squirtle and the pre-evolution of Greedent, which I don't remember the pre-evolution name. Mixed
Wait, do we have a...
right there. We do. Probably going to have a disconnect. We're probably going to have to start over. If Rhino is not able to pause it, we should be able to restart. Either that or they're just waiting there menacingly.
Yes, maybe this is all part of their plan to trick not only the enemy team but us casters and the viewers at home. It seems like they are going to be moving. It doesn't seem like we're going to be resetting this time around. They will play it out as normal. But we do see that both junglers going up top. They both now have their 5, and it is a rollout Wiggly. And it definitely seems... The thing with these comps is that both teams get their first...
Going in this time around, and just a couple of hammers that time. Mamoswine putting in a lot of the work. Ice Fang being used, a lot of damage on the top side. And you can go ahead and continue explaining as we're actually going on to the bottom side that time. And now, Mr. Mime putting in the damage onto the Squirtle. Green forced to run away. We are seeing the portals actually come out from Mixed Mads, and they are chasing the poor turtle with the squirrel tail. Actually, a 1v4 scenario trying to get away. It's not quite going to be enough. And now, Eldegoss rocking it with the damage.
Yep, and we do see a 4-man bot lane. I was just about to say, the thing about this game is most of the people in this game do get their power spikes very early on, especially on Jungle Reaper's team. So if they're able to really just get a home run early game, really just push that forward into the late game, I do think that is their best chance of winning this. But Green is going to invade their jungle, just not allow them that EXP, but they will be able to get the mid Bs without much resistance, as Greedent just kind of runs around and does Greedent things as they sort of secure bot lane with their scores, undoubtedly getting their stacks in.
Yeah, high horsepower defending the Greedent, knocking out the rollout. Now moving on to the bottom side, we're seeing War Total in the 2v1 scenario one more time. Gravity coming out by the Clefable, moving away, trying to run as much as possible. Nope, Mime secures it.
Raptor not having fun down bot lane. It doesn't seem like he is fully able to do the Squirtle solo lane, but we do have bees coming up. It seems like Jungle Reapers was able to get the bees top lane, and now they are fighting for bot lane, but Crustle is uninterested. He is just running stacks.
And now Piloswine actually forced to run away this time. Power swap onto Moonlight Clefable. Double the healing, double the sustain. Now forced to actually rock that Regirock. It's going surprisingly fast considering all the supports actually going in. It's secured by Clefable. We're having a team fight right on the bottom side. The portals are going to come out, and Mixed Match securing that onto the Piloswine. Crustle is also going to go down. It's a double for Mixed Mads. War Turtle as well. 3 points on the board. Let's see if they know the math. It's going to be at least 24 points by the Clefable. That's a little bit of an overdunk. Jungle Griefers ahead by just a bit.
Yep, that's about a 22 over cap. The Clefable is going to secure, and I feel like we're going to be seeing that a good bit this game, possibly. But with bottom lane broken, that does allow Team Drip to get their needed level 9s and level 8s evolved, such as Mamoswine and, of course, the very important Blastoise. Once they have that Blastoise and Mamoswine, I do feel like this is going to change drastically. Of course, we're just going to have Mr. Mime basically take the role of Greedent, but they will be able to kill him very easily, as it seems that Jungle Griefers is just sort of shredding, or at least the best they can do, shred, is they're going to shred and take the Regielektric, but I don't believe they're going to get much stuff off of it.
Pressure on the top side is going to be the name of the game for Jungle Griefers. We are seeing Wigglytuff actually moving in with a double slap and taking a lot of damage. Piloswine is. They managed to take down the tree, and now Hyperspace Portal going to send Eldegoss onto the base.
That is a 1 over cap.
A 1 over cap, very important 1 over cap for the side of Jungle Griefers. A little bit of the math flub there, but we'll let it slide. It's 5 supports versus 5 defense.
Yeah, this is clearly just sort of a for fun game in some aspects. Of course, I have no doubt they're taking this as seriously as they can, but they're probably just as well trying to enjoy themselves a good bit.
182 this time. Unite move is going to come out by Mixed Mads, and we're going in stuns galore. Unite moves everywhere as well. Unite move also for the Mamoswine, a double knock up going into the Blastoise. Unite move that time around. The sustain from both teams, but now Blastoise is showing why it's actually an all-rounder. That's a double kill by the Blastoise. Now, the Wigglytuff actually forced to run away with a rollout. Double slap, actually taking down 2. Eventually falls down to the tree. Not much you can do there, but a beautiful team fight and a beautiful exchange by both Jungle Griefers and hashtag Team Drip.
Yep, the Blastoise is really just showing its true colors, getting an easy team destruction there, getting 2 kills, but of course the Wigglytuff just showing up, saying, I can do it just as well as you can, and getting the 2 kills back. Very exciting, very interesting gameplay we are seeing here, and it does seem like maybe Crustle is able to secure and steal it. Will we see it? We will not. The Mr. Mime is going to secure it, and it just like Mamoswine going to push him in. They will be able to get a kill on it, but they will possibly... No, they... Ooh.
They continue to actually go into this team fight. High horsepower into Ice Fang. The Mime should be able to go down, but no, because we have a lot of healing. Eldegoss Unite move is actually going to save him for just a few seconds longer. Hyperspace Portal actually going to start regenerating the Eldegoss one more time. The 80 carry is pretty much untouched that time, forced to run away. Wigglytuff actually activating the Unite move that time. 3 minutes and 30 seconds left on the board. Animated Eagle trying to do whatever they can with the Green Hammer now. Blast is actually forced to actually move in towards everybody. The gravity is going to be put down, but Crustle is going to secure it versus the Wigglytuff. The Clefable rather, and now rollout coming out by Wiggly. We're seeing Water Spout, Rapid Spin used, Ice Fang saving the life of the Blastoise. It is Wiggly versus the Mamoswine, high horsepower, doing so much damage. Blastoise trying to hit him, but in trying to save their friend, they actually fall down. That's a double kill for the Wigglytuff.
And the Wigglytuff is going to give them a little dance on their grave. Team Drip is currently up by about 50 points, but Wigglytuff trying to get that score into even the gap a bit, and it does seem like they're going to hide and going to be able to get that 50 score in as the rest of Team Drip goes up to defend from the Regielektric.
Yeah, Tech trying to secure it that time, not quite going to be able to. So all of the objectives pretty much going on the way of Jungle Griefers. In the meantime, on the bottom side, that's 50 points by Russ's Wigglytuff. And they continue to actually try to defend as much as possible versus the Regieleki. 15 seconds left for the Rayquaza to actually spawn. And 4 members of Team Drip trying to take care of the Regieleki just before the spawning of the main objective of the game. 3 seconds left on the board, approaching the final stages of game number 1. Oh no!
Yep.
Oh no! Oh no!
Raptor,
It's
no!
Blastoise against the world. A beautiful bait actually done by Jungle Griefers, but is it going to be enough? Unite move actually used by the Mamoswine. Everybody else trying to push in. Now the rip, or lack thereof rip, is going to start from the side of Jungle Griefers. 5 supports, 5 defenders. Is still pretty much a tight game. And now we're seeing a re-engage actually gonna go on the side of Team Drip, trying to do whatever they can actually get that sustain in. The Clefable goes down. Important member. No more healing, or at least not as much. Unite move gonna come in by the Blastoise one more time and trying to take down the Mr. Mime. It's gonna be a double kill from the side of the Mime before going down to the Blastoise. Mixed Match doing whatever they can with the Hoopa, and now Water Spout, Rapid Spins, trying to do whatever they can to defend. The Crustle is going to go down by Tech as they continue to actually hit the Rayquaza. Mamoswine moving in with a high horsepower. It's 1 versus 4. Now 1 versus 2, and the others spawn one more time. What can the Blastoise do? Can they be able to secure it? Not quite likely. 30 points by Rayquaza. Is it going to be a... Oh my god, they do able to secure it! Everybody else from Team Drip is forced to run away. The Greedent is fighting for their lives, and they just simply go ahead and rotate on to the separate, different objectives on the board. That's going to be 48 points on the bottom side for Jungle Griefers, but the advantage goes to Team Drip with 20 seconds left on the board as the team fight continues on.
Yep, Team Drip over by just about under 100 points. They cannot let a single score in, and it doesn't seem like they will allow it. With 9 seconds on the board, Jungle Griefers needs to get at least a 40-point score in. Will he be able to? The Mr. Mime is going to go into the mid base. It's going to be a 6-point score. Not enough with the Clefable. They were going to get a 36. Is that enough?
Oh my god.
I'm not sure. I don't think it is.
If it was about 40 and it's 6 on the middle and 36, it's a 42 score.
It was about
right
a
at the end.
70-point difference, but I may not be correct.
Oh my god,
It was
okay.
a very close game. Team Drip is going to be able to take the first game of the first set of the night. What an amazing game. I was not expecting to wake up and see a competitive tank versus support game. Wow. That was absolutely fantastic.
A lot of the heavy lifting done by the Blastoise Cloud, showing its true colors. 104k as a defender. On the side of Jungle Griefers, however, Russ actually doing a lot of the damage. 93,000 with the Spenza with the 91. A lot of secures done by the Jungle Griefers, but the name of the game is Rayquaza. If you are able to last hit it, you pretty much can win the game off of it. And Team Drip actually smelling blood in the water, managing to secure it and pretty much get the W in this first game.
Yep. Team Drip definitely did, just with their comp alone, had the much better secure. I was expecting to see either a Gradient Belch, maybe even a Crustal ult secure, but nope, instead we're going to see the what I believe was the Blastoise auto attack secure, which I was not expecting to see that. But these, I am genuinely shocked by the amount of damage done by the support team. We have 90,000 points dealt with Dispenser on the Eldegoss and Russ on the Wigglytuff, and Russ knows what's up. Rollout Wiggly, I've said it once before, is one of the best Pokemon just in the game. The amount of damage it can deal, the amount of CC it can take, and it has a pretty good secure early and late game. It is an all-around great mon, just very hard to play, and it seems like Russ luckily was able to put in the time and effort into learning it, and that is not going unnoticed. Sadly, it is not able to win them the game because they just weren't able to really get that secure. Maybe they just thought, we totally have this. They're not gonna, secure this with an auto attack. It's totally not gonna happen. Then what do you know? The inevitable, or I guess the unexpected.
The unexpected for sure, Lily. As we move into the second game, are we expecting these type of comps actually rock it one more time? For Jungle Griefers, they dominated the majority of the game. Not a lot of secures actually and objectives went to the side of hashtag Team Drip in the first place. I would say run it back if both of them really want to be ready for it. Or are we going to go more conventional route this time after having that fun in the first game? Only time will tell.
I don't know. I definitely think, just from what I've seen here, I know Team Drip, they do love a specific comp. They do love their Surf comp. So I would not be at all shocked to see a Surf comp going on. If you don't know what that is, it is specifically Pokemon with the move Surf. Surprisingly, there is enough Mon with that move in the game. I believe there's Blastoise, Slowbro, Mew, two others I can't exactly remember at the same time. Oh wait, Cramorant, and there is one more I do not remember. What other Pokemon has Surf? It is not a Azumarill. Is it a Azumarill?
No, Azumarill has Rough Play, Aqua Tail, Water Pulse, and another one that I don't remember. But it's not Surf.
Well, there is at least one more Mon that knows Surf, I believe. So maybe we'll be seeing that, and I know I did show them Punch comp, where it's just Pokemon that punch for their attacks. So maybe we'll see a bit of that too. We haven't really seen any Fire Punch Charizard, but hey, maybe this will be the first time. That'd be very lovely to see. But I don't know. I wouldn't, if I was Jungle Griefers, I wouldn't exactly be too keen on doing another Grief comp, as we would call them, after that game. But who knows? Maybe they're good sports, and maybe they're not the fun. We'll see a Zero Aura ban from Team Drip. I believe that is a sign that we're going to see another bit of a fun comp idea.
Most probably, we are seeing the Lucario actually coming out as a ban from the side of Jungle Griefers if we wait for their second ban. Not much that we can go from. These are bans that we haven't seen before. Just two teams having a little fun in this end of the week. Number 10, just to try to finish off this Unite World Coordination League in a blast. And now Zoroark actually being banned on the side, and also Talonflame. So a lot of speedsters actually being banned from the get-go.
Yep, definitely not going to be going a speedster comp, that is for sure. We might just be... They're going to switch. They're going to switch the comps. Team Drip will be picking the support comp, while I believe Jungle Griefers picking the tank comp. Indeed. The exact same ways, too. That is absolutely lovely to see.
And we could see variations from the corresponding players. The Slowbro was not played on the defender's side. And then from supports, we still have the Sableye that's still available. Who else do we have available as a support?
I would definitely be shocked to not see a Mime, because I do believe Raptor, his favorite character is Mr. Mime. So I definitely do think we're going to be seeing them being played.
Yeah, Hooba Clefable going to be picked on the side of Team Drip. I'm waiting on the other defender. Snorlax is also another defender that we did not see beforehand. Gudra has not appeared in the game just yet, but it's on its way, just as Umbreon, 2 defenders. And effectively, we are going to see the Slowbro from the side of Jungle Griefers.
Yep, who knows? Maybe they'll be able to reach into the game's code and pull out a Gudra. I don't know if that's legal in this tournament, but I have no power to stop them. And personally, I wouldn't want to because I would love to see that thing. I cannot wait to see that thing in a tournament. But we do have the Absol ban and another ban, but I don't think it's going to matter too much. I would be shocked if Team Drip was going to be going Absol this late in this late into the bit, as you would say.
Dodrio, the final ban on the side of Team Drip. Just waiting on the defender. Snorlax still on the freight.
We have
Mammothswine going to be the pick.
I definitely think they're just going to pick the exact same comps, make it fair, make it even. We know what to expect. We're just trying to have some fun here. And who knows, maybe the defender comp is just broken, and maybe the support comp is just broken, and Team Drip just got pretty lucky, which, to be fair, it seems they did get pretty lucky. But
it was a pretty lucky steal.
it was a very lucky steal. And there's the Mr. Mime, and I believe there will be the
Wigglytuff is there.
Maybe they'll pick the same moves too. I don't know. Oh no, I would be very shocked to see that more than one person in this general group knows how to play. We Blissey instead. Okay, so it seems they are allowing themselves to pick variations. That is very interesting.
Yeah, we did not see the Slowbro in that first game, so that was pretty much a change. No, we did not.
Okay.
I believe that Greedent was actually the one that they picked. They did pick it here. And what was the other defender that was actually in the game? It was not Slowbro. Trevenant, exactly. Thank you. So yeah, they did have variety to actually be able to switch it up, which is good on them, giving them some flexibility when it comes to the respective defenders and supports. Just having a little fun, like you mentioned beforehand. Waiting into it.
Both teams definitely just trying to enjoying them. Both teams definitely just trying to enjoy themselves a bit before the spring. I do believe the Blissey and Mime will be going into the same lane as the Team Drip. This version with the Blissey instead of the Wigglytuff does have a significant amount more of healing, though they will be sacrificing a good bit of damage, as we saw, to roll out Wiggly doing the most damage for Jungle Griefers last team with 93k. So I don't know how that's going to turn out for Team Drip. However, again, if they end up going Safeguard, that's going to pretty much destroy most of Jungle Griefers' plans. I would assume they're going to try and CC them heavily, maybe with, Surf Slowbro, Ice Fang Mammothswine, or High Horsepower. Maybe especially probably just Covet Greedent and Crustle as a whole.
We are going to see how these players are going to adapt to what they are doing inside the Sky Ruins. Slowly but surely actually trying to secure themselves a better playoff seed. So even though we are having some fun a little bit, there's still a lot to play for both teams. I don't seem to be very worried when it comes to their tournament play. So hopefully it doesn't bite them in the butt.
I don't think it will. I think they'll win or lose. I think both teams will be pretty happy with the outcome. Just happy that they were able to, show that even though they are competitive players and they play this game to win and to make money, they can still very much just enjoy it amongst colleagues. And I think that's a very lovely thing to see. And it's one of the things I just absolutely love about the Unite community. It is, of course, a competitive community, and it is about being the best. But there is this sense of just sort of relaxation, or not maybe relaxation, but maybe just sort of camaraderie between players and between teams. It's a very lovely thing to see.
Very nice words actually delivered by Lily the Goddess right there. So let's see what's going to happen now as we are just about to go into game number 2. If we can get those itemizations on the way. Mammothswine doing a lot of heavy lifting on this side of Team Drip that time. So we'll see if Jungle Griefers gives it that much priority. Blastoise actually being the main carry on their side as well, for it functioning as pretty much the all-rounder. Everybody stacking as well, just to get that extra damage in, extra health in, extra everything in. If you want to stack, you can go for it.
Yep, I do think again we're going to be seeing a lot of stacking on this side. We did see a lot of silk spoons,
Flick
silk
spoons.
slick spoons. Thank you. We are going to see a lot of slick spoons on side of Team Drip, as we did see on Jungle Griefers. A very good move in this situation of all things. A move that lowers the special defense of the enemy Pokemon by 20%. It may not seem like a lot, but it definitely adds up when you're something like Eldegoss or Hooper or even Mr. Mime, when you have a tons of ticks of damage, that very much adds up really quickly, same as Muscle Band does for Eldegoss or any sort of range attacker. But it does seem like it is taking a small bit to really get into the game. We will see what moves they are picking. Do you think any of them are going to be playing XP? We will see right now as we
Not a
see-
problem at all. So we're seeing Animated Eagle, Raptor Arms, Squirtle, Cloud, and Tech being on the side of hashtag Team Drip. On the side of Jungle Griefers, no changes this time. Crustle going to be played by Mixmads. Our Raptor Arms on the Clefable, Animated Eagle on the Blissey. Squirtle's then actually rocking Mime, Cloud with the Eldegoss, and Tech with the Hoopa. Dispenza going to be rocking the Blastoise, SMPB on the Greedent, Cape Frazier on the Slow Bro.
Indeed, Mixmed's definitely going for a crit Crustle. Very fun to see. Haven't seen that in a good bit. Blastoise as opposed to Raptors. Dispenza is going to be running a Wise Glasses, Focus Band, and Rapid Choice Scarf with the eject button. It seems like this is a very mobile defender comp, as most of them either have eject button or a X speed. Same with Team Drip though, except it is a X attack and a Fluffy Tail for the Greedent and Eldegoss.
Gotta make sure you get those jungles in as fast as possible. Not that much of an item that we see regularly on the competitive side, but game number 2 is going to be underway. Hashtag Team Drip versus Jungle Griefers.
Yep, and we might end up seeing it seems we're going to be seeing a Blissey solo top with, or at least for the first bit, with Eldegoss and Mr. Mime in jungle, Clefable going in, bot lane with Hoopa and Greedent switching jungles and invading each other. And on Jungle Reefer's team, we have Slowbro Mamoswine bot lane, Crustle soloing top with their Squirtle in lane, or in jungle. And we will have, I believe, both of Jungle Reefer's Pokemon were able to secure their own pieces of jungle. And
Yeah,
does-
Jungle Griefer securing the blue buff that time. Hoopa really pretty much in trouble. So the invades do not work on either team's side. Early lead by Jungle Griefers, 30 points to 9.
Yep, it does seem like Jungle Reefer's got the general better play out of all of that, as Crustle seems to have beaten the Blissey top lane with the Mamoswine, and Slowbro beating the Clefable bot lane. As they are going to fight for bees, and it seems like Jungle Reefers are going to be get most of that. 3 people are bot lane. It is an uneven fight. We have the Clefable going down for Team Drip, as they are going to get a stun off, but it doesn't seem like they're going to be able to kill them. And Jungle Reefer's going to get a win, or definitely winning, but somewhat of both sides getting very good scores off top lane. It is now over a 50-point difference, but Team Drip able to come back, get that Blastoise kill that they very much needed on the jungler. But again, you go.
Yeah, in the meantime, SMPB secured it onto Cloud that time. Another invade done by the Greedent. Squirtle's then trying to force the Squirtle out of the jungle. Cloud actually tries to get as much farm as possible. In the meantime, on the top side, we have Mixmads juking it out. Raptor Arms actually paired up with Tech as the Hoopa 8-minute mark already. 10 seconds left on the board. Mixmads actually juking it out with Animated Eagle. So move on to the top platform. 2 points scored by Mixmads, continuing to stack up. Not that much of team fights actually going on at the beginning of these matches, just scores and trying to go as fast as possible. Now Slowbro actually with the opportunity, but Cape Frazier actually managed to not be able to take down Cloud. We're going on to the team fight with the Surf that time. Cape Frazier moving everybody from hashtag Team Drip as away as possible, and Russ trying to get as much farm as he can. 2v1 scenario versus SMPB. It manages to actually go away. Water, Spout, Rapid, Spin, Dispenser on the board one more time. Surfs coming out, trying to run away, but that's another secure by Cloud, as we have the entirety of hashtag Team Drip rotating towards the Regirock, and Mixed Mats looking to secure Regieleki after taking the top zone.
Yep, and we are going to see the Blastoise securing Regirock for Jungle Griefers, as well as the Crustle securing Regieleki for them as well. And they are going to just push into their bot lane, get as many scores as they can. They're going to get 2 scores. They're going to do it. It's going to get 42 points. It seems like they are going to break it with a 3 over cap, as the Regieleki doesn't seem like it's going to be able to go into top lane. But the Crustle fighting for their life to try to get it in. Now, they were taking it very slowly early game, but now games, they're definitely picking it up. They have their stacks and they have their levels. And of course, the Crustle is not able to get it into their point, into their base, as the Mr. Mime comes up and helps defend.
Yeah,
Mixed
Mat's actually forced to run away that time, and we are seeing another jungle invade. Yeah, this is why we're seeing SMPB being so annoying with the Greedent. All of the buffs available to him right now. Squirtle's Den actually trying to go onto the bottom side, but it's 3 members of Jungle Griefers actually going in one more time. Raptor Arms on the bottom as well. It's a 2 versus 2 scenario on the bottom side. We are seeing Mixed Mats actually take down Squirtle's Den, and now Dispenza actually taking care of the other member of hashtag Team Drip. A lot of domination this time for game 2 on the side of Jungle Griefers.
Yep, though remember, this is exactly how it went last game, and Team Drip was able to get a clean win right at the end. But it does seem like Jungle Griefers, I would say, are able to really take advantage of their Mon's best attributes. Greedent, of course, going in to invade this game, as we will see a fight Cardance in mid. Hoopa's going to ult, Clefable's going to get a kill on the Crustle, as big damage comes out for Jungle Griefers. Multiple unites being thrown out. It is 2 down for Team Drip, and that is... Ooh, they were able to get the Blastoise. It does seem like the Blastoise, the Mime Sign Islo, and is going to be able to get a kill on them. It is just Squirtle and the and the Slowbro. Scratch that. Just... Never mind.
That's
just
a triple.
Crustle.
It is a triple kill by Raptor Arms. Mixed Mats alone versus everybody. Cloud managing to take that last one out. A triple from Raptor Arms, and now hashtag Team Drip moving to the top side, probably rotating towards the Regieleki afterwards. A good overdunk there, 139 towards 188. So all the advantage that had Jungle Griefers had at the beginning of the match has pretty much dissipated. We are seeing a little bit of a level differential. Clefable managing to secure the Regieleki that time. And once again, as MPB left alone versus 5 members of hashtag Team Drip, the Jungle Griefers do respond and take the Regice for themselves. Unite move actually coming in one more time by Squirtle's Den. Unite moves all around one more time as well. Dispenza trying to do all the damage possible, taking down the supports from their sides. Telekinesis coming out by the Slowbro. And now slowly but surely, hashtag Team Drip falling one by one. Tech doing whatever they can to actually take care of the Blastoise. But when you are facing against Cave Frazier and Dispenza, we are seeing the Telekinesis and all of the damage done by the Blastoise on the side of hashtag Team Drip. We are seeing them one more time. Once again alone is the Greedent in a 2v1 scenario. Manages to run away as fast as possible. 3 minutes left. All of the Unite moves, almost all of the Unite moves, are still available on the side of Jungle Griefers, except for the Blastoise. Everybody on hashtag Team Drip side, not quite there just yet.
They're going to use the Clefable Unite. They will not have that possibly for the Rayquaza unless that Clefable is able to get a pretty good amount of farm up, but I don't believe that just doesn't exist on the map, especially with Jungle Griefers taking their fair share of it. With the Green and the Crustle going in deep, and Eldegoss is going to get picked off along with the Crustle. A pretty even trade at this point in the game. Both level 12. is that Crust? I do believe that Crustle is actually level 13, from what I am seeing. So, though, Jungle Griefer
I believe
is
it's
up.
12. It's a little blurry on my side, but the Blastoise
yeah.
is level
Was it
14. Level 13 Greedent, level
Absolutely.
13 Clefable, level 12 Mr. Mime, and Eldegoss and Hoopa, level 11 Blissey, level 11 Slowbro. Rayquaza is going to spawn. The levels are pretty much evened off. We might see a team fight on the bottom side, but everybody from hashtag Team Drip is pretty much together. They do want to avoid what happened in the previous set. That time it's a 1v4 scenario, mixed match, forced to use that Unite move, and now we're seeing everybody flying in. Unite move coming in by the Mr. Mime. Slowbro using the Surf. Unite move from the Blastoise. Clefable is going to go down, one of the healers left. And now Blastoise doing so much damage that time. Defender comp looks like it's beating the support comp. They are ripping the hell out of Rayquaza right now. The Eldegoss, not really much they could do at this point. We are going on to a game 3 most probably, if hashtag Team Drip does not manage to defend whatever they're going to do, but that's 100 points by Mixed Mats, and everybody else right in the middle are going to secure 200 points at least.
Yep, Team Drip just does not have the damage required to stop these scores. That is about a 400 point difference. They are able to get a few kills on the Crustle, but I don't know if they'll be able to really get the points required, get the kills required to get in the 400 points and above required to get this win back. It does seem like Blissey is going to try. It does. And they are going to get a kill on the Blastoise. 22 more in for Team Drip. The Mamoswine just going AFK. It seems they have checked out. They are confident they are going to win this game with 26 seconds left on the board. We are going to see a close combat ult from the Clefable. They're going to go and just score. They know they do not have the time to be messing around with a Greedent. But again, 50 points in the 15 seconds on the board. Slowbro is going to be able to just defend, and you just can't kill a Slowbro with a support comp in 15 seconds. And yep, it does seem like Jungle Griefer's definitely very confident in the gameplay this game, as they will take the win. It is now an even game, and we'll be going on to game 3. Will we see do you think we're going to be seeing a more serious play this game, or serious team comp this game?
All supports and defenders have both been respectively chosen by both teams. Everybody got 1 and 1. It wouldn't surprise me, maybe they go all speedsters, all attackers, all everything that's actually going to be left as we go into the battle data. We're seeing 10 kills by Dispenza, but SMPB really pretty much being the MVP throughout. Dispenza actually proving that Blastoise is more of an attacker rather than a defender with 112,000 points of damage. Not that much damage on the side of hashtag Team Drip, though.
Yep, definitely. It does seem like Jungle Griefer's is... I don't want to see the more coordinated team, but they have been able to dominate both of these games. It's just last game, Team Drip was able to get a bit of a lucky Rayquaza steal, but they were not able to get it this game, and it definitely seems like Jungle Griefers were not willing to even give them the chance this game, leaving only their Eldegoss, and just as it was going bot lane, can't do much against it. But we are going to see 73,000 points of damage taken by the Greedent, the most on the team. And with the Blissey and Clefable both taking more, with 80 plus, 84 for Clefable and 88 for Blissey, a surprisingly high damage game for the comps we're having. You know, the only character that did even slightly low amount is Animated Eagle on the Blissey with 24k damage, which, excuse me, but that's still a pretty good amount for a Blissey at least.
It's solid numbers. Solid numbers all around. 75,000 points of damage taken by the Eldegoss too. Pretty impressive numbers in their own right. We're just about to go into this third match between these two teams, trying to secure a better playoff spot. We are going to go into the draft now.
Yep, and these bans will show if they are going to be taking these games as seriously as they probably should. And we're going to see a Delphox ban. I feel like that is a sign that this is a serious mode game right now. I would not expect Delphox ban, but I may be wrong. It is still the first one of the game. We will have to wait and see for their picks. So
Like they're going attackers, Delphox being the only anti-healing in the game right now. Super important to actually try to combat versus double support comms. Being the likes of Clefable, Blissey, Comfy, best healers in the game, bar none. You'll wait Jungle Griefers this time. The timer has not reset on our start, but we are seeing Clefable or Shifu actually being banned and Espeon. So definitely looking a lot more like a conventional draft this time.
yep, these are definitely some normal and expected bans. Clefable, Urshifu, Espeon, Delphox, all fantastic Pokemon in this meta. We have one of the best just supports, absolute just gone. Delphox, who was recently banned,
Ooh.
is also banned. And we will see the Scizor pick, first picked for Team Drip, and the Slowbro and Mew for Jungle Reefers. I'm excited to see if this is going to be a Scizor or a Scyther. I would expect a Scyther for Team Drip.
It is, yeah. In week number 10, it is the first time that we are seeing Scyther or Scissor being played. Not because the character is not good, it's just that it was banned because it was glitched out. So, not much that you could do at that point to be able to use it. A lot of the teams don't really know how to fight against it. They haven't played against it in any type of week in the league. And this could be a pivotal pick by any team that actually goes for it. And we're seeing Comfy actually picked off, which I might expect a little bit of a Caesar play if they have that sustained to actually fight against them.
Yep, we're going to see the Blastoise coming out for Team Drip. This is definitely an expected comp for them, and it is shaping out to be a very good for them. I know they also, of course, Jungle Reefers does have the Mew and the Glaceon, Dispenser and Mixed Meds, two of the best players with those two mons. Dispenser with Glaceon, Mixed Meds with Mew, an absolutely destructive duo I would never want to fight against. But we will see probably the Raptor with Blastoise, and most likely Squirtle with Scyther. Again, two players who absolutely know these mon, especially Raptor. It doesn't, so far I'm seeing, I do believe a Blastoise is going to have a very good bit of advantage against the comp that Jungle Reefers is creating. With mostly squishies, Mew Glaceon can't do much when a Blastoise is spinning right at them, dealing 100 points of damage a game. But we will have to wait and see. Maybe they pick a bit of a Buzzsaw to just pick up, throw it out.
Last ban left for hashtag Team Drip. Decidueye actually being banned on the side of Jungle Griefers. If you want to play against a Decidueye, I recommend you do not play with a Comfy on your team, because when Decidueye has that enough sustain, even though you don't have any type of mobility, or at least limited mobility, when you use the owl with the bow and arrow, it could be a bad time. So I don't blame him for actually banning it that time. On the side of Team Drip, Buzzwole actually being a counter to Blastoise. If you're going to use Smackdown in particular, it does take him away from the rapid spin. And we are seeing Jungle Griefers pick Blissey for them. We could be setting up for a T-Tar on that last pick if they want to run it. And we're seeing Garchomp actually picked by the side of hashtag Team Drip as we await the final pick from their side.
Now this is a comp. Scyther, Comfy, Blastoise, Garchomp, and Mr. Mime. For Team Drip and for Jungle Griefers, we're going to see the Slowbro, Mew, Glaceon, Blissey, and Machamp. Absolutely, these are some very interesting comps. And I did call the Buzzsaw pick. It did get banned though, so yeah. But the Champ, Mr. Mime, and Garchomp, the last picks of the set. We did see Team Drip pull out the Garchomp. They were practicing it, and I have no doubt that they've been practicing it a bit more in the last week. Maybe they'll be even better with it. Who knows? I definitely think Garchomp's gonna have a good bit of difficulty into this, especially early game, with the Mew and Glaceon being able to just pick it off. Not much he's going to be able to do unless they are able to get in real close. And we are going to wait and see if that Blissey is running Safeguard or soft boiled. I do believe we have been seeing a good bit more Safeguards lately, but this isn't a very heavy CC heavy comp from Team Drip. So, and of course we do have the Slowbro and Machamp, who both are not really bothered by CC. Again, along with the Glaceon and the Mew, who are normally far behind. So I am expecting a soft boiled and egg bomb Blissey here.
Final game between these two teams actually taking it a little more seriously this time around. Just a little bit. Double defender comp versus support comp was fine for the first two games, but now going into this final game, it is looking like we are going to have a banger of a series debuting Scyther / Scizor. Going to be played. Lily, very happy with the Machamp on the side of Jungle Griefers. Definitely one of those picks that you have to look out for. So, what's going to happen as we move into the next part, which is going to be the itemization phase?
Yep, if I was going to trust any team with picking my baby Machamp, it would be Jungle Griefers, an absolutely exceptional team alongside Team Drip. Though I'm not sure it's going to be able to do much, though it is a pretty not great counter, but the dynamic punch is a pretty good way to deter a jumping in Scyther or Scizor. But we will have to wait and see what it is playing and what they're all playing for the itemization, if it's going to be a crit Machamp or not, if it's going to be a crit Garchomp or not. We will have to see in a very short while.
Yeah, a lot of range on the side of Jungle Griefers. That could be a problem for what is the majority of Pokemon actually being used, especially the heavy damage dealing ones, are going to be a lot of melee based. So it's going to be important for Jungle Griefers to maintain a distance from the corresponding Pokemon on Team Drip's side.
Yeah, and even then, Blastoise, you definitely do need to be a good bit close to them in order to do the most amount of your damage with your Beyblade. And we will be seeing their items. It is a Razor Claw Spokesman. That is my set with Machamp on SMP with SMP. So that does like it's going to be a close combat dynamic punch. Dispenser using Wyatt's glasses. So Slick Spoon, Energy Amp, Full Heal with their Ice Glaceon tech, using of course the brand new what was it called? Not Recovery Hood.
Is it Rescue Hood?
Rescue, yes, it is the Rescue Hood. The new Rescue Hood, basically made specifically for Comfey, and we are going to see. Is that an Energy Amp for Blissey?
Energy Amp Blissey, yep. The Experience Chair as well as Buddy Barrier. K Frazier also rocking the Buddy Barrier, so double Buddy Barrier comp for the side of Jungle Griefers, who are almost about ready. A lot of games played by Mixmads on the Mew, a lot of games played by Glaceon, by Dispenza. It's going to be super interesting. One final game to determine who gets seated higher in the playoffs. Hashtag Team Drip versus Jungle Griefers. Game number 3. Let's get it.
And we are going to be seeing, it does seem we're going to be seeing the Comfey with the Gibble going top lane, Scyther in jungle, Blastoise and Mr. Mime going bot for Team Drip. We're going to be seeing Machamp, and I can't tell who that is. If the Machamp and Blissey going top lane, Eevee or Glaceon going jungle, and Mew and Slowbro going bot for Jungle Griefers. Like, Jungle Griefers getting a bit of a slow start. Machamp going top and going to be stacking, as most Machamps do. Mixment of course, just getting all the secures early game with their fantastic Mew gameplay.
Slowly but surely, trying to rack up the damage as much as possible. 15 to 19. A couple of stacks from both teams. We are seeing the charged up basic attack hitting just on the mark, and we see the snipe by Mixed Mads taking care of the Mr. Mime. Solar Beam gonna hit on the mark, and we are seeing the Scyther actually getting picked up by hashtag Team Drip as we await the final second on the board for Atarias and Swablu's 3v3 scenarios. Everything
and-
pretty much going on the side of Team Drip, and that time on the top side.
If both all-rounders, Machamp and Garchomp, now have their level 5s, Machamp definitely still has a good bit of advantage with that, but now it is dangerous to go in if they can't kill the Garchomp very quickly, which they will not be able to do with the Comfey. And I think that is their main plan, but Jungle Griefers are going to be able to get a kill on the Mr. Mime, and they, as Garchomp just drags them into their base top, and they are not able to get a kill, sadly. They do have to back off, as mid Bs are going to be spawning in about 5 seconds.
Everybody forced to move away that time. Mixed Match trying to secure as much farm as possible. 8 minutes on the board that time. We move in Squirtle's Den, trying to get some more damage in, but it is going to be Dispenza actually taking care of that one, securing that kill. Raptor Arms forced to run away. Another one for Dispenza. And wrecking a lot of them as everybody from Jungle Reefer side actually rotates to the bottom side as soon as the 8-minute mark actually goes down.
Yep, it does seem like Team Drip is going to just keep their Garchomp top lane, let them get all their stacks in, all their levels, unless Machamp is going back bot. We are going to see a small bit of a fight here. The Mr. Mime really taking a ton of damage this game, as they are going to get another death on them.
Yeah,
Jungle Reefers-
Dispenza really showing all of the damage that they can actually dish out if you are Glaceon. Just as Lily mentioned as well, one of those priority picks that's going to come out. Glaceon being the name that time around, and we're seeing a 1v1 with Animated Eagle actually trying to rock as much as possible. SMBP doing whatever they can to actually defend versus the Garchomp. Jungle Griefers securing Regice on the bottom side. It's a 4v3 right down on the bottom. K Frazier moving in. And now we're seeing Squirtle's Den actually trying to move in as well. Dispenzac taking care of Raptor Arms. That's another one. Yeah, Mr. Mime really being a big target. K Frazier rocking it versus Squirtle's Den. Jungle Griefers doing everything right at the beginning of the early game, just trying to secure everything. The zones are going to be super important, as we're seeing Gabite actually score 20, and now responding back SMBP.
And we are going to see Machamp secure that. That was either the Garchomp or the Machamp's level 9, and they are going to be able to get it. Now Garchomp really can't fight it anymore without possibly risking an ult, and they are going to just start whipping that Regielektric. I've no doubt they just want that off the map. Of course, if they do that, that is going to be about a 17 overcap on top. Not the best, not the worst, as they're just fighting for B's bot lane. It looks like Mr. Mime, another possible kill on them. The Comfey coming in to save them. I'm not sure it's going to matter too much. The Comfey's going to ult with the Servo ult on the Scyther. Not able to kill it though. They will get the Regielektric top as the fight continues bot. And it does look like it is going in the favor of Jungle Griefers very heavily currently. Even though the scores are not that far apart, they're definitely very advantageous in levels.
Yeah, that's a double kill by Russ on the bottom side. Meanwhile, Mixed Match versus both Squirtle's Den and Animated Eagle, managing to defend as much as possible and just continues to run away. They are playing an excellent Mew game and continue to put that pressure on to that bottom side. Jungle Griefers 176. Raptor Arms really pretty much tied with Tech in Comfey, and they continue actually to put on that pressure onto the bottom. Cloud forced to use Rapid Spin. Water Sprout trying to force themselves into getting that Regirock, and now we're seeing another team fight. Unite move actually used by Cloud, and it is secured by hashtag Team Drip. K Frazier probably gonna go down. Everybody hitting them at the same time. We're seeing Animated Eagle actually moving in, and all the extra damage by Dispenza. The problem of this composition, like we highlighted beforehand, is the range. Oh, interrupting the recall. Beautiful move by SMPB.
Yep, very much. They know they're not gone. They know that the Blastoise is low. They're going to back, or maybe they just saw it. But very good kill on their part. So give them a good amount of EXP. And they are going to be able to just take all of the farm on the map without much contesting. It is 100-point lead or 104-point lead for Jungle Griefers. Both top and bottom bases are gone for Team Drip, while both are still up for Jungle Griefers. And it looks like Machamp gonna get another 40 score bot, as it seems like Eagle will not be able to get theirs top, sadly. But as everyone condenses up top lane, they're going to also going to be thrown out. A large fight is coming up here.
Moving on to the team fight one more time. That move actually used by the Comfy. Trying to get that bottom zone. In the meantime, we have SMPB going on the bottom side just to actually put some scores. The snipes coming in one more time. Blastoise is going to go down, and we're seeing actually Garchomp putting in the work. Animated Eagle actually trying to go in one more time. Mixed Mads, Solar Beam catching him. Dispenza securing that onto the Garchomp. Kofi left alone, and it is also going to go down by Dispenza. In the bottom side, it is just SMPB versus Raptor Arms in a 1v1. Meanwhile, it's looking like Jungle Griefers are going to secure the Regieleki, and rotation bottoms is going to start with 2.5 minutes on the board.
Yep, I'm shocked that Team Drip is not just letting that in. They're already at a heavy disadvantage. That going in is not going to do too much for their odds. It is all going to come down to the Rayquaza, if they are able to secure it or not. Of course, Mixed Meds, we have Dispenza, the Machamp, fantastic secures for Jungle Griefers. Thing is that, sadly, Team Drip just cannot really fight against in the secure department, so it's going to come down to a team fight, but with a Registeel on Jungle Griefers' side, and Team Drip needing to initiate the fight, it is not looking good for them. We're going to see Mr. Mime and Serbo posture in the middle bases. It does seem like Mr. Mime and Comfy are going to be hanging around each other. I have seen this combo before. It's a very popular combo. But we are going to see Mr. Mime going...
Final stretch. Oh, actually, Unite Move gonna go down. Squirtle's Den. Unite Move by K. Frazier actually taking him down. Garchomp is gonna go down in the 2v1 scenario too, taking apart every single member of hashtag Team Drip. And now Unite Move actually finally gonna come out by Raptor Arms. Blastoise is the only one that's left right now. Comfy is gonna be able to spawn, but the amount of damage on Jungle Griefer's side can say otherwise. Machamp securing that. Rayquaza just about to go down. It's looking like it's Jungle Griefers, Rayquaza, and their game to lose. Dispenza showing up and showing out with the Glaceon. Another kill by Animated Eagle. Raptor Arms trying to get some consolation points. It's not gonna matter. They surrender. Jungle Griefers gonna take the victory 2-1 versus hashtag Team Drip and secure themselves a better placing in the playoff bracket.
Indeed. 3 fantastic games. 2, they were definitely just having some fun at the beginning, some fun between friends. I know these teams are very good in with each other, but Jungle Griefers will take the serious game with... I would definitely say they just kind of won right off the bat with the picks they got. I mean, they got 2 of the just best attackers they gave 2 of the best attackers in the league their favorite Mons, or at least I believe it is their favorite Mons. Dispenza with the Glaceon and Mixed Meds with Mew. They were just unable to do anything. Mew securing everything from them with their Solar Beam bot lane, early game, and late game. And of course, incredibly high damage with Dispenza, not as much as the Wigglytuff, just missing out by about 2,000 points, but still a very good showing by them. Of course, Team Drip, the highest on their team, actually being Animated Eagle with the 51,000. No doubt that is coming from their many fights with the Machamp top lane. So, and of course, we have Squirtle not really being able to do much that fight with all the CC, the stunning, and the burst. We saw in that last fight, once they were able to just get them to just sort of like focus them, Squirtle just kind of dies in an instant. There is not much you can do when you have a Mew and a Glaceon on you, or even just the Machamp alone.
It was pretty difficult all around when it came to their side as well. Now, Scyther Caesar debuting with a loss here in the United World Coronation League. It's one of those Pokemon that not many people have been practicing all that much because it's been banned for so long. So it could have gone either way. I feel like in the current meta, however, Lily, it could be a lot more beneficial to actually start rocking the Scizor, just because you're going to have a lot more sustain, and if you're playing it with a Comfey, most of these fights actually get super extended. So maybe a little change of direction, Scyther not being as much a priority if you cannot get the early game going.
That does make sense. You do need to play Scizor or Scyther in jungle, as we've seen it the most. And jungle right now is a very contested spot, and I did call out Glaceon being in the jungle for this first set. Will we see it again later tonight? I'm not sure. Will we see some more, possibly and hopefully better showings of Scizor and Scyther? I sure hope so. But we'll have to wait and see that in the next few sets. But for now, I think those are three fantastic games. But coming up, we have
Ikigai no Tsurugi versus EXP's Elite Force.
Thank
It's going to be the next set, no worries. It's going to be Ikigai no Tsurugi and EXP's Elite Force. Going to duke it out. Ikigai no Tsurugi with a loss on their record, but pretty much the best team in the league right now. EXP's Elite Force actually guaranteed a playoff spot right in the lower side. Not that much to be played for except for bragging rights and momentum. It's going to be a pretty difficult task for EXP's Elite Force that start in the lowest seed and then continue to run the gauntlet versus some of the best teams in the league.
Indeed. If I was Elite Force, I would be willing to fight them right now, really willing to get that win on the best team in the league currently. As you can see, Elite Force currently in round 1, right alongside Super Skull Squad in bracket A, right next to Wasted Potential, right below Wasted Potential, Jungle Reefers, and last but not least, Ikigai no Tsurugi, who they will be fighting today. Of course, I'm very excited to see how these goes. Elite Force definitely being the underdogs, but who does not love a good underdog story and seeing them win in the end?
Yeah, they really have to play with nothing to lose and just go for every single pick that they possibly can and try to get as many picks that they can on the board. Doesn't really matter what they see, just throw stuff out there and see what sticks. Maybe they figure out something that can help them throughout the course of the gauntlet for playoffs. It's going to be pretty difficult for them, though, because Ikigai no Tsurugi is looking like a class above everybody else in the league. So let's see what's going to happen.
Indeed, and I'm checking chat right now. It seems Squirtle's Den from Team Drip, Dispenser, and Mixed Meds all having some good fun in the chat. GG's being shared. We love to see it. But yes, indeed, Elite Force will definitely need to have been cooking up something good and able to beat Ikigai no Tsurugi. Got it.
You got it. You got it.
Yeah.
Yes,
my favorite name in the league. Why would they change? Why did they change it? It was so easy to remember. But of course, Elite Force, one of the, I wouldn't say underrated teams, but definitely, or perhaps not one of the most anticipatable teams. Not a lot of, as far as I'm aware, not a ton of people in chat know of them. They haven't had too many hugely interesting games, but I am very excited to see them. I've seen a lot of great stuff from them. From the games I have watched of them. They have had some incredible fights with some incredible teams, and I don't know. Honestly, I'm pretty interested to see how this will go. I don't think this is as lopsided as many would think. I definitely think both teams have a very good chance of winning this. Of course, Ichigai no Tsurugi with the 8-to-1 ratio. It is, if I was a betting man, I would be in their favor.
Well, I can talk to you a little bit about the Elite Force because they are my team. So
Oh,
I do know a little bit about these players.
well,
So
please tell me about your team. I would love to hear about it.
okay, so I just want to point out, as soon as I started playing, and we actually got the victory versus Super Squirtle Squad, and then the other victories just started racking up. So I feel like I shifted the momentum this season. No, but in all reality, I feel like our core is full of skilled players all around throughout the majority of like our play. Coordination and team fights will be the vein of our existence, especially when it comes to actually getting a lot more coordinated around the Rayquaza and knowing what to do within the map is going to be something. Like most teams, is going to be a little bit of growing pains. Our Pokemon
Yes,
pool is
yeah.
very specific, and we prefer to go comfort rather than to force anything that's in meta, which can work for us depending on the level of competition, but it can also be a detriment to us as well, depending on whatever we really want to pick in the day. I am very interested in seeing how these are going to start rotating a little more, and as we continue to work on our macro and trying to get some more stuff going when we head into playoffs. That was pretty much the objective for us in this season, and I am very happy to say that we cleared that objective. The rest that we have right now is going to be freebies all around. If we can continue on with momentum and force the gauntlet, maybe starting off with an upset versus Ikigai no Tsurugi is going to be very much in our favor. I feel like we have the talent. We just need to work on the execution.
Fantastic words. We do love it when, of course, a good bit of the casters here either are on the teams or have connections to the teams playing. Of course, as I've made abundantly clear, I used to be on Team Drip. I have friends and I am friends and know pretty much. Actually, no, I do know all the players on them quite well, specifically Animated Eagle and Squirrel's Den, and and this is of course with the league we have some newer teams here, Elite Force being one of them, of course, and alongside Team Drip, who really get to show their stuff and sort of improve without there being a ton of pressure to perform already, which I think is just one of the best things about the league.
Yeah.
Definitely, I do love to see the growth we have in teams. Excuse me. Just from the week before and the week before that, there's been a large amount of increases in new strategies being involved as we unban Mon and new Mon are buffed and added or nerfed. It is fantastic to see as the teams change, not just their maybe even their player roster, but their Mon roster. And I do I do fully understand you when you say that your team prefers comfort picks. When I was with Team Drip, I was a Machamp solo player. I exclusively played Machamp basically. They had to pull their teeth in order to get me to play Charizard when it was still pretty good. And let me say, I got a 70% Charizard in with 40 games on it. That's all
Nice.
in 5 stacks. I'm pretty happy with it. Of course, I haven't played it since, but still. Uh, I definitely, I definitely feel with you there. But somebody that I trust a long time ago once taught me it's better to play something you're good at than to play what's good. That's what I've been taught, and
Mm,
I fully agree with them. And I
yeah.
do, not to say that, of course, your team isn't playing bad mons. I've no doubt they're good with some exceptionally great mons, and I cannot wait to see them. I can't wait to see what y'all have been working on.
Well, you in the work with Submission Machamp and actually getting that W on the board when we desperately needed it, especially such a good victory as well, because that pretty much is what secured playoffs now that Unsung Heroes is no longer in the league. So, yeah, we do have our fair share of Mons, but now that everything is available, I hope to see different picks from them, and especially from Rob's as well, because there are a couple of all rounders that are still available for him. He is our all rounder specialist, and the rest of the players have been working on their Pokemon pools as well. So maybe we can see some good magic being played this time. And again, we are going to have to put all the stops if we want to get that W over Ikigai no Tsurugi.
Hey, Robs, if you ever if you ever want to talk all rounder, just hit me up. You know where I am. But that is great to see. And if what you said is true, if with the new mons added, with the new mons allowed, Scyther, Delphox, and Glaceon, I am a bit worried for them because of course, I don't want to give Ichigai no Tsurugi too much credit. They're not some god team, but they are a very capable team, and I am sure that they have been making sure that their variety of mon, the amount of mon that they can pick and be good with, especially in this type of pick and ban system with 3 bans total, you definitely need that as a team, and it is a definite weak point and something you need to work on if you want to succeed here. And I think that is what Ichigai no Tsurugi has been able to do here with the amount of things they can play. You can't really outban them. I think that's one of
Mhm.
the best um tools, and one of the reasons why they've done so well is that they don't. Of course, I have no doubt that they have mon that they specifically enjoy playing or prefer playing, but the amount of mons they can play and the amount of comps they have, the amount of coordination has been truly stellar. And I don't know if Elite Force is going to be able to really stay on toe to toe with them, but we will see. And Julie, I do hope they do. I would again love to see a fantastic bit of a Rocky storyline, bit of an underdog. I don't exactly remember what the Russian name of the dude was in Rocky. Who was his name? Do you remember? Have you ever watched Rocky?
Oh
Have
my God,
not.
yes. No, no, no. I do. I don't remember the name of the. I only know if he dies, he dies.
He
But that,
died?
yeah. No, no, no. But like when Rocky was about to like be super slaughtered, and he said like if he dies, he dies, and then Rocky makes the comeback and takes the victory. It's one of the
Ah.
main plot points of the game. Okay, so let me see here.
Excuse us
Um,
all. We're gonna have to put the Unite casting on hold. We're doing a bit of Rocky fan searching real quick. We did this is
something
very
like that.
important
Something like that.
information. Very important information. We have to
Very.
know what the
Okay. Okay. Yep. I'll be right back.
cool. Sorry everyone for the inconvenience. It does seem like we are going to be a bit late. We're going to have Chopper step out. I'm not sure if I'm gonna be the only Uh, I'm not sure if I'm the only caster available. I might be, so this might be a solo casting experience at least until this specific set is done. Uh, New for me, but hey, we'll work it out. Oh, thank God. Okay, cool. Yeah, deeper into the night. Just kidding. Yep, I will try and keep you all entertained for the short while with some stand-up comedy.
I'm talking about Rocky.
able to start off ASAP now.
That is fair.
Okay. Okay. Let me see here. Let me just go back there just to let them know. Okay.
I love it. You end stream the moment I bring up doing stand-up comedy. But
Would you like the copy?
We're back
Okay.
in it. You
Yep.
can start. I've
No,
I need
no
a
worries.
go
No
on it.
worries. As soon as we can share that screen, that'd be great too.
Yep, we will
Because
get that.
I'm not seeing anything in regards to the draft or the game right now. So if the commissioner can actually just put the screen perfect.
We are going to be seeing a Zacian band instead of a Zero. We're going to be seeing Scyther, Slowbo, and Hoopa. Very interesting start off.
Oh, first pick Trev. No, it seems like first pick Trevin on the side of EXP's Elite Force. And Comfy being picked by Ikigai no Tsurugi. We'll see what type of composition they're actually going to start running now. T-Tar is still available. That could be a Protect the President comp. Or they can go for a defender this time. It's really going to depend on what they want to prioritize. But like you said, they have a big Pokemon pool. So not really that much you can ban out or pick from Ikigai no Tsurugi.
Indeed, the Scyther band or the Suzo band from Elite Four definitely seems like they're not sure what to expect, so they're just banning what they know is good.
Hmm.
But they are going to let the Urshifu through, especially with the required Zacian ban for being just a bit late. Urshifu with Comfy, we're not entirely sure what it could be. It could be either water or a black bear, but depending on this comp, it could go either way. We are going to see a Fable on the enemy team. That's going to lead me towards Black Bear, if anything. And Machamp. Fable, Machamp, and Trevenant for Elite Four.
They're really trying to go for comfort here. Some of the best monsters they have right now, Trevenant being something that they have been practicing as of recently and paying a lot of dividends when it comes to actually a lot of play. Where Shifu and Comfy actually scares the hell out of me right now, and they do pick Espeon as their third Mon. A lot of range on the side of Ikigai no Tsurugi, especially with that Espeon. It's going to be pivotal for EXP's Elite Force to get something with mobility. I'm thinking Delphox, I'm thinking Glaceon, I'm thinking Cinderace could also be a possibility, just to make sure that they juke away the Psyshock Psybeam. Delphox is going to be the ban from the side of Ikigai no Tsurugi, however.
Indeed, and if what you said is true with Elite Four preferring Submission Machamp, I am very afraid for him right now. As with the Urshifu, if it is likely going Black Bear, it's unstoppable half the game. It's not going to be able to do much, and the Espeon, the Espeon's passive, of course, just negating all CC. It's just going to go in there and maybe not do much, depending on what the other mods it picks. Depending on what Ichigai no Tsurugi picks. If they pick maybe like a Blastoise or another mod that just does not care much of CC, the champ's gonna have a very tough game, but we will see a Decidueye in counter to their Delphox ban for Elite Four as Ichigai no Tsurugi goes into their fourth pick.
Yeah,
Very
you don't
interesting.
really want to deal with any type of range. It's pretty much what they're going for. It's more comfort bands more than anything else, just to get stuff out there. Mr. Mime gonna round up the double support comp from the side of Ikigai no Tsurugi. So a lot of sustain and a lot of healing is going to be the name of the game. What type of all-rounder are we going to expect, however, or maybe another attacker on the side of Ikigai, as we're going for the Greninja, we're the Elite Force.
Indeed, I definitely see where you're coming from. This is looking like a very comfort pick comp from Elite Four, but again, you play what you're good at, not technically what's good. And the thing is, none of these Mon are necessarily poor or are performing poorly. Greninja probably is, I guess, again, the general Jungler Volt is very interchangeable with it is currently, but Greninja definitely being one of the more consistent picks we've seen, or at least one of the more common picks we've seen in the league currently. But the Mr. Mime, again, going with Ichigai no Tsurugi's general idea of just your CC is not going to do a ton to us. Mr. Mime is just so tanky. And of course, if you get close to it, if it's playing Psychic, and especially if it's playing Power Swap, you're not going to have fun, especially as like Trevenant or Machamp. But we will see what EXP Elite Four's last pick is in the next 45 seconds.
We're
They
just
have
missing a little bit of damage on their side. An attacker going to come in, probably to round this up.
maybe a Blastoise. That could be a bit, but that would be. I don't want to say enough. I'm not sure. We are they are going to be picking maybe a Cramorant, maybe get more again. I was about to say get a bit more range, and they are going to pick the Gardevoir, likely going into lane as I don't think they would want the Greninja in lane. And we have been seeing a good bit of Gardevoir lane with the Blastoise going to Ichigai no Tsurugi, a very popular choice, and of rounding out their anti-CC comp.
Yeah, it's gonna definitely be probably Surf onto Hydro Pump. Blastoise is the only defender that they're gonna have available to them, but we do have a Mr. Mime on the field as well that can serve that double purpose of being a defender as well as the support. So a lot to look forward to in this first game by both teams as we move into the second phase, trying to get this quickly as possible.
Indeed, we do need to move faster. We are behind schedule. Unless this turns into a 3-game set, we still might be a bit behind schedule at the end of it. But I'm not sure how this is gonna go. I don't want to counter lead far out, but just from this pick in bands comp alone, I am in favor of Ichigai no Tsurugi, especially with they have better whip, they have better range, they have the best secure in the game, and it just doesn't seem like Levi has really much to fight against them. But who knows? Crazier things have happened before. Ichigai no Tsurugi, again, not a god team. They are not perfect, and they have already dropped one game. We do have to wait and see if that will just sort of bring them down into losing even more.
Okay, Austin Goats are gonna rock the Mr. Mime Junction going on to.
We see a Snorlax pick.
No worries. It hasn't picked it yet. It should be the tree. They just like to move their characters around. No worries.
I completely forgot how that works. My apologies.
No. It's fine. So A Goats, Mr. Mime, and Zakari actually going for Comfy, Vix on the Urshifu, Egoist on the Blastoise Junction, and securing the Espeon, Galactic on the Gardevoir, Big on the Trevenant, Robs on the Machamp, Sir Draco on the Clefable, and Jael on the Greninja. Nothing really that different when it comes to the compositions of the itemizations. The only thing different by Junction would be usually people run choice specs with Espeon, but now they seem to be preferring Shell Bell, getting that extra special attack as well as that cooldown reduction, and pairing it with the Wise Glasses and the Slick Spoon just to get that extra damage in. A lot of eject buttons on the side of Ichigai no Tsurugi. And let's see if Elite Force can take down the number 1 team. Game number 1 just about to go underway.
Yep. The Fable is running experience share, and it seems that Team XP Force is not moving. Maybe there's been a disconnect. That is likely. and we are going to see an end battle. There was a disconnect. We will have to run this back again. But just from what we saw, it does seem like Ichigai no Tsurugi is running a jungle Urshifu. I wouldn't be shocked if that is a water bear, honestly, even with the possible gravity coming from Clefable. Just absolutely destroying them. And we are going to see Sir Draco getting a fantastic MVP.
By doing absolutely nothing. Great
Truly.
job by Elite Force getting that psychological game 1 versus the number 1 team.
Of course, you're psyching them out. You're saying we don't even need to move to beat you. We're that good. Truly, they have been practicing and working on something special. But disconnects happen. There's nothing you can do with. There's nothing much we can do about it. We've all played the game. We've all disconnected ourselves. It's just part of the experience. It's part of Pokemon Unite. But we will very quickly just sort of restart that, get people back in who need to be back in, and we will have the first game of the second set for you all here in just a moment. Now coming from EXP Force, just with your biases in, who do you think is going to win fully?
Okay, the analyst
putting you on the spot.
Okay, yeah, because the analyst in my mind says that Ichigai no Tsurugi is going to take the W today. There is no reason, because of the track record, there's no reason why they shouldn't be the favorites, and there's no reason why they shouldn't win this set. But these are my boys. Like, I can't root against my boys, so I'm just gonna pick Elite Force to actually get the upset of the league, because they have the talent, and I believe in my dudes, So I'm gonna just pick them because it's my heart, and my heart sometimes is better than my brain. So I'm gonna go them.
I 100% agree with you. You gotta follow your heart, and both gotta stick together. It is lovely to see, and I think you'll be very happy to hear. I think you'll be very happy to see. I know I was definitely leaning more towards Ichigai no Tsurugi, and I still am. However, I don't know, just something about this game. I'm feeling an upset coming. I'm feeling it.
Oh my god! Let's go!
I don't know. I'm reading the script right now. It does say the chapter 25 offset. We could be seeing something fun here. Of course, I don't know if you have access to the script that Ryan, the league commissioner, has given all the casters, excluding you and Eagle, of course. Ooh, that's definitely, we have Dark Aura voting against Ichigai no Tsurugi. I know for a fact they've been working hard these past few months, making a name for themselves. I remember when they were a new team. I remember having friends help pick them out for them, and now look at them, one of the best teams in the league. Absolutely fantastic to see. It's just
such a great story. Yeah, it's
It
such a great
is.
story too. They started a little rocky right at the beginning, actually getting a couple of losses on the board, and now just like that, or at least one loss on the board. And if they can actually manage to actually be the number 1 seed after a rocky start to the league, like, it's gonna be an impressive story going into the playoff brackets.
Indeed, it would be a fantastic thing, and it would be very great for the content and the viewers at home. The viewers at home do love a good story to share, and we are going to see the exact same picks, exact same comp. Though I do want to talk about the X-Speed Machamp. It is going to be looking from its thing, it's going to be a submission cross-shot Machamp with the double crit and the X-Speed. I don't see X-Speed on anything besides the submission, which, as you said, is expected. But we will see a lot of slick spoons. Just, I'm honestly a bit shocked that item has just been so prevalent. I wasn't expecting it to be that good. But that may just be my I don't play many special attackers, so I wouldn't know how impactful negative 20 defense is for them.
Yeah, I play special attackers as well. A lot of Espeon before the buffs, just because I'm a hipster, and So
gotta do propose,
as soon as
cool.
I put, of course, as soon as I put Slick Spoon, I immediately felt the difference in damage. I felt like Stored Power Future Sight was a lot more damaging than what it usually was. A lot of the stuff actually made me go ahead a lot faster. I felt like I had a lot more sustain in team fights. I was a lot more relevant, especially with that build. And let's see if there's enough relevancy for Elite Force as they take on Ikigai no Tsurugi in game number 1.
Yep, Elite Force, we will have Machamp Clefable going bot lane. We will have Clever, nevermind Clefable is going to help out the Gardevoir in mid as the Trevenant and Froakie go top. We are going to be seeing the Urshifu in mid by itself with the Mr. Mime Eevee in bot lane, and we're going to have the Squirtle and Comfy top for Ichigai no Tsurugi. It does seem like Ichigai no Tsurugi is getting a very early lead off in top, both their Squirtle and Comfy getting a score off, and they're not. Ooh, Machamp is able to secure against both the Mr. Mime and Espeon with a single cross chop, and it does seem like EXP Elite Force, they are able to get most of the secures from what we saw, or at least most of the impactful secures for their own farm at least.
Which is super important, especially when fighting against Espeon and Mr. Mime, who are so good at securing the objectives. If you have an Espeon, obviously with the side shock, and now we're seeing Urshifu actually going into the rotation on the bottom side. Galactic doing the best to actually zone everybody else out. Altarius and Swablues are going to be in, but that's going to be clearly by Ikigai no Tsurugi all around. No scores by Elite Force as of right now, so no stacks gained by the blue side this time.
Yep, and we are going to be seeing a Wicked Blow Urshifu, one of the best secures in the game, and it is just trying to pick a fight with that Gardevoir, not letting them safely go back to their jungle. They do have a level advantage on them, just barely. Neither of them have the 6, but he is going to get it right now. He is going to get it, but they will leave to get their own farm as mid-Bs are showing up in just about 10 seconds.
In the meantime, we are seeing Espeon actually take down Robs on the bottom side. It's Clefable versus the World Clefairy. Right on the bottom side, Psyshock. Oh, hitting him right then and there. That's another one by the Espeon, and a lot of zone pressure by Ikigai no Tsurugi. Victor trying to force themselves to run away. Minute 8 to see what type of rotation they're going to go for. Wicked Blow going in and taking down that tree. Not that much farm actually left for the guys in Elite Force, and a lot of point being all made. Galactic doing the best that they can, actually zone people out.
Yep, with Ichigai no Tsurugi just taking up all the farm on the map, they were able to get all of the mid-Bs uncontested. That Black Bear or Wicked Blow Urshifu just taking everything it can with it. Again, one of the best secures in the game. And Machamp just now getting their 5 at nearly 7 minutes. That is not something you want to see. Of course, with the XP Clefable, they are able to pretty easily get their stuff back, but not if they get pecked out like that. They is able to escape, as both objectives are up now, and are going to see Mr. Mime, Wicked Blow Urshifu, and the Espeon just go down bot, likely just try and secure it really easily without much of a fight. It's going to be a Registeel.
Yeah, it's super important Registeel from their side as well. It seems like the rotation is going to be just to leave Robs on the bottom side, trying to do whatever they can to actually try to get something going, but it is still going to go for the Wicked Blow Urshifu. They need to be careful not to overextend themselves, otherwise it's going to be a huge Wicked Blow, and trying to bait out any type of option. Robs forced to run away. That's going to be probably a secure by Ikigai no Tsurugi, trying to do whatever they can, actually trying to move away. Psyshock, Psybeam, the build for Espeon. In the meantime, Trevenant actually secures the Regieleki on the top side, so good objective by Elite Force, but is it going to be enough now that Wartortle is actually running Water Spout Rapid Spin? A lot of pressure on Ikigai no Tsurugi's side. The rotations are not quite there by the Elite. It's 4 versus 5 on the top side.
Yep, Elite Force 0 with Ichigai no Tsurugi at 179 already at 5 minutes 45 seconds into the game. The Comfy is going to be able to save the Blastoise and get a kill on the Greninja with their ult. The Blastoise is going to go in and just eat them up. There's not much they can do to stop them, as the rest of their team just comes in and easily disrupts them.
Trying to do whatever they can with the Horn Leech this time around. The Force Fields is going to come out, so Galactic with 1 on the board. Clefable is going to go down, however, so no sustain on their side. And now Greninja trying to move in with the Surf. Not quite going to hit the mark there. Going for the Blastoise, but Galactic actually cleans them up. And Comfey managing to keep the Urshifu and the Blastoise safe in those team fights. Pretty difficult for them, however. Now trying to move to the top side one more time as Robs continues to farm as much as possible. But Wicked Blow actually going to come in by the Urshifu, and Galactic is going to go down. Mr. Mime putting in the work that time. Trevenant just being that front line, but 225 points versus 25 from the side of Elite Force. Not quite the lead that you actually want. Rob's trying to stack as much as possible too. On the bottom side, Wicked Blow going to come out by the Urshifu. That's stun after stun. There is no way to be able to survive that for sure.
Yeah, Machamp just not able to do much against this Urshifu. They have shown that they are not afraid to go in deep into the fights like you need to with a Wicked Blow, able to just move them around and get huge chunks of damage even on their point. Same as this Blastoise, really going in, getting a kill on the Gardevoir, and still full health thanks to the Comfey. This really shows the strength of the characters they are playing, and my lord, it is not looking good for EXP Elite Force. Ichigai no Tsurugi not even interested in the objective, just fighting to score that with a 24 over cap. Now, I have no doubt they're just going to try and go and rip that if they can't get another huge amount of kills. And it does seem that Machamp did miss their ultimate, sadly. Was not able to get a kill they were hoping for. But the Urshifu going
one more time. Wicked Blow just going for everything and everyone. Espeon securing the kill onto Galactic. Now the Gardevoir actually managing to take out the Urshifu, which is a solid kill, especially if you want to get even more levels on the board. Level 12 onto the Gardevoir, but the rest seems to be falling a little behind. Comfey level 11, and now the Greninja is actually getting level 10. So farming is going to be the name of the game. You do not want to start any type of team fights. You are trying to move around as much as possible, but it's so difficult when Ichigai no Tsurugi has such a commanding lead.
Yep, and we do have, for Team EXP Elite Force, we do have a Cross-Chop Machamp, which if you don't know, at 13, it does its like move evolution allows you to gain attack per basic attack you do. And if it doesn't hit that 13 like good bit before Ray, which is in just 30 seconds, it is not that useful, all things considered. And it doesn't look like it's going to be able to get it right now, or anytime during this game, as a fight is condensing up in top lane for the Regieleki. The Greninja is going to go down. It is just the Trevenant and Clefable. The Trevenant is going to ult. Not gonna do much though, as it can't secure against a Blastoise and a Wicked Blow Urshifu. Blastoise is actually getting secure on that. Like the Wicked Blow is just like a fraction of a second off. But
in the meantime, Galactic actually securing the Regice just on time. Espeon defending the bottom side, and we are seeing the Urshifu actually going up against the Gardevoir, and we're seeing actually trying to go in onto the Espeon, but again, the damage is not going to be there. Unite move used preemptively by Galactic, but it's not going to hit absolutely anybody. A little questionable there. Need to be careful. Oh my god! Manages to get 22 on the board. No overcap, however, so a little bit of a mishap on the side of the Espeon. Not quite being able to...
just missing them by a few inches there.
Just a bit. Just by a bit. But the rotations are going to start actually coming in. Rob's forced to actually go on the upward side. Cross chop use. Clefable coming on. Unite move by Mr. Mime. The team fight is going to start breaking out. Espeon is going to take Jael down.
Machamp going to miss his ult again. The Urshifu going to get out. Very low health. It is one hit. And it's just not good. It is not afraid. As I said, of course, everyone is very low right now. That is a kill on the Espeon for Team Elite Force. Will they be able to kill the rest of them? They have the Mr. Mime in their grasp, and that is going to be another kill for them. This is a very big turning point.
Oh man, 4-man unite move this time around. The wicked blow is going to come out. Trevenant is down, and now going for the Urshifu, anticipating the fact that he was already there. Jael actually securing it versus the Urshifu. Galactic Force to run away, doing a lot of damage as well, and actually everybody trying to go in as fast as possible, trying to secure it, but it's only 20 seconds left on the board. What is going to be the play here? They should be able to rip Rayquaza, but they choose to actually go for the bases this time. 50 points not going to be secured by Robs. A little bit of a play there. They should have taken advantage of the fact that Urshifu was already gone, and the rest of the team of Ikigai no Tsurugi was gone as well, and Galactic was actually baiting them out for set movements. They should have tried to rip it, because that was the only thing that they had left, but Ikigai no Tsurugi with the first game on the board.
Indeed, a rip was definitely the correct play there. With the Espeon and the Urshifu gone, you, as the Machamp, and with Clefable and Greninja, Gardevoir, you definitely have a better secure against them. And we will not be able to see the attack stats, but I can imagine that they were very big. And the league commissioner is not happy. He is not happy that they did not follow the script. They that will be a bit of a pay deduction for Ichigai no Tsurugi, actually. That's like $20 off their paycheck. Each individual player, we pay them individually. It will, in fact, you'll be happy. You will be going to Elite Force. You won't be seeing a penny of it, though, because again, you are not given the script.
Yeah, a little bit of a mishap in that last team fight. As soon as they see somebody trying to go in, and the Urshifu was pretty much gone for the foreseeable future, just go and rip it, I think would be the correct call there, like we discussed beforehand. We'll see what type of adaptations we're expecting for Game 2. If I'm them, either I am prioritizing Comfey or I am banning it altogether. You might want to ban the Urshifu as well if you don't want to deal with the Wicked Blow. And then the rest of the Pokemon, well, I wouldn't really know what to do versus Ikigai no Tsurugi. Maybe Lily can give some pointers there.
I definitely think the cross-chop Machamp is not the play. You are just not gonna get your 13 against a team like Ichigai no Tsurugi. They know what they're doing, and they know that is one of your team's main win conditions. And if all they need to do is secure most of the farm early game, and they've shown they, again, are not afraid to push your tiers, to push on your pads and fight you on them, and win those fights. So I just don't think a late game Mon like Cross-Shot Machamp is going to be the play. I just don't think Machamp is going to be the play at all right now. I think there's definitely I think Machamp is a very you need to play that against a squishy comp, or you need to be playing for your ult in a comp that is very scooped together. And with what we've seen from Ichigai no Tsurugi, they are just not going to allow that to happen. They are very split up. They know what the deal is, and they are just able to act on it. We will see a Scizor and / Scyther ban from EXP Elite Force for their first ban of the game.
Yeah, they do not want to deal with the assassin, not want to deal with that type of sustain. Interesting is going to be how are they going to pick second ban. However, a lot of Pokemon that they do not like to fight against. So let's see what type of adaptations they're going to go for game number 2.
Yep, I would not be surprised if we saw an Urshifu ban on their side. Urshifu definitely giving them, I'd say, the biggest amount of trouble there, especially in the team fights and the secures. There's just not much you can do against it. If you maybe go Dragonite, kind of, but even then, I do think Urshifu, fully stacked, does beat out Dragonite. But, and again, I'm not sure if EXP Elite Force has Dragonite in their roster of Mons. You would know that. Maybe they could work. They do. Interesting.
They do. It's not as practiced as the rest of the Pokemon that they have, but we do have that in our compositions.
Yeah.
We try to go for some stuff, especially when it comes to rip comps, it should be super important. If you want to secure those last hits. So Hoopa is going to be banned on the side of Ikigai no Tsurugi, which is an interesting ban. Just trying to make sure they just leave it out of the board. Now, what are they going to go for? It's going to be super important here. If it's an Urshifu ban, because they know that EXP's Elite Force is going to first pick it, it's going to be interesting. If they felt like maybe there was another Pokemon that gave them trouble, then we're seeing target bans here, but the Slowbro is actually going to come out. So pretty standard bans of what's strong right now in the meta, I would say.
Yeah, I definitely think Ichigai no Tsurugi knows what EXP Elite Force is gonna ban. They're going to ban that Ush. They're gonna ban the Comfy. Never mind. They're going. What will they first pick? When you said Rip Comp, I definitely think that is a pretty good play against a team like Ichigai no Tsurugi. Again, if you can't beat them in a team fight, the best thing to do is just not fight them at all and get rid of that and get rid of the objectives and get into secure in. And that is how you're going to win very good fights. But we will see a Glaceon for the first pick, possibly giving the Urshifu back to Ichigai no Tsurugi. But
yeah, if it's
now,
going to first pick it, it should be a healer here, or going to get the Urshifu on the second pick as well. A lot of priority onto that Pokemon when it comes to actually being used in competitive play. Glaceon,
Trevenant.
Trevenant actually. Oh, you could get Nasuru saying, okay, this is how you play the Pokemon. So it's going to be pretty interesting how they're going to incorporate it towards the meta. Again, with the changes that Trevenant has received, it has been a lot more prevalent in the meta. There are defenders that can be preferred, and we are seeing the Blissey actually coming out from their side too.
Yep, they said if you're not going to give us the Comfy, we'll just pick something better, and they picked Blissey, while EXP Elite Force takes the Urshifu and the Clefable. Again, Clefable, we couldn't see the healing, but it did look like they were doing a good bit of work last game with the Gravity and the Moonshine, not Moonshine, Moonlight. That is alcohol. But Urshifu being taken out by Elite Force makes sure Ichigai no Tsurugi cannot take it, while Ichigai no Tsurugi actually takes Cinderace going undoubtedly in jungle. Now, EXP Elite Force, are they going to go Water Bear against this, or are they going to see, are they going to try and do a little, no, we can play it better than you can and try and out Black Bear Ichigai no Tsurugi?
Delphox being the ban that time, and Espeon. Respecting the Espeon pick from before, they do not want to deal with any type of CC, no type of stuns as well. There is still going to be Trevenant. Blissey, if they go for Ektos, can delay a little bit, and obviously Blaze Kick by Cinderace also sets them up a little bit, but it's not as annoying as dealing with Psyshock, especially with the range buffs that they got.
Indeed, with the Urshifu pick, the Comfy ban, and Espeon ban, over half of Ichigai no Tsurugi's last team is just out of the question, and it doesn't even seem like they're trying to sort of redo it. It looks like they're going to pick, like, all of these are all new picks from them. The Decidueye too, as we will see. Now, will that be going in lane, or will we be seeing a Cinderace jungle with it? And we're going to see the Greninja again by Elite Force. It didn't look like Greninja was doing too much with it, and we're going to see a Snorlax as well. This is a very interesting team comp. It seems it's almost a mixture of an older comp with Snorlax, Greninja, and a very newer comp with Clefable, Urshifu, and Glaceon. So sort of a mixture of the ages. Very excited to see it. But with Delphox banned by Ichigai no Tsurugi, I am not shocked that they would go Greninja yet again as the comfort pick shown last game. Of course,
They have a lot of trust when it comes to their respective Pokemon plays, and Dodrio is actually going to seal it just to round up the composition on the side of Ichigai no Tsurugi. So definitely an annoying speedster to play against. We are going to have the Clefable with Gravity, so it can be able to actually fight against it a lot better. But it's really going to depend on how the Urshifu is going to build. If we have a Water Bear, if we have a Wicked Blow Bear, going to be interesting. As far as the team comps go, what do you think so far?
I would definitely give it again to Ichigai no Tsurugi. I think I don't want to say cocky, but they're very confident in their play. They know, again, they picked Dodrio after they picked Clefable. Like, you're gonna do Gravity. We don't care. We're gonna pick something you directly counter, and we're still gonna destroy. But I don't know. I mean, that we've seen some fantastic Dodrios, and I know a lot of people say Clefable is a pretty heavy counter to it, but honestly, I haven't. I mean, if you're really good Dodrio,
you definitely know how to play around a gravity, and something
Hmm.
tells me Ichigano Tsurugi is probably going to know how to play around gravity. And also, one more thing I do want to say. Again, we talked about a rip comp. I feel like Ichigano Tsurugi was anticipating that, which is why they went the Cinderace into Decidueye 2 again, two, not again, but two fantastic secures. Cinderace with his ult, Decidueye with his arrows. Just does not, again, even if they pick water, or even if they pick Black Bear, like Speed Elite Force is going to have some trouble against them. So I definitely think Yusei Tsurugi kind of listening in on us, thinking, or at least thinking the same stuff, having the same ideas, and counter picking to it before they even finished.
Yeah, do
So
keep in mind, however, there is a 2-minute delay onto the stream, so they
I
can't.
know
They
that was
can't. No, I'm just clarifying it for everybody that's in the
yes,
chat right now and the viewers at home. Just making sure that they know, like, okay, like they're not listening to us, so you don't have to worry about that. Like, don't no worries. Like,
yes.
it's not something that's gonna happen.
We do very much care about these games being as fair as possible, which is why sadly we don't respond to chat that much since we are 2 minutes in the future. You are 2 seconds behind. We're just future people. But we are
True.
going to be seeing Assault Vest on the Snorlax. Bit of an interesting play as none of those characters use special attack. But we will be seeing the Razor Claw stacking Muscle Band on the Urshifu for Team. That is Team EXP Elite Force. Egoist on the Bird. That is very intimidating. I know they are a very good player. What they have shown. Frankly, I'm terrified of that.
Junction rocking the Decidueye fix on the Cinderace, Zakari with the support play on the Blissey, A-Goats with the Trevenant. And on the side, pretty much the picks that I was expecting. Bic on the Snorlax, Galactic on Glaceon, Jael on the Greninja, Rob's rocking the Urshifu, Clefable on Sir Draco. So it's going to be super interesting. Elite Force has the opportunity to force that game 3 if they manage to defeat the number 1 team in the league. Let's see what's going to happen here in game number 2.
Yep, we're seeing a lot of games on that Blissey and Cinderace. We're even seeing a lot of ribbons today, especially golden and blue, just to show like how just interested and experienced these players are. We'll see Dodrio and Clefairy. We will see Dodrio, Blissey go top lane, Cinderace mid with the Owl and Trevenant going bot for Team Ichigai no Tsurugi. Remember, they are flipped currently on the top. But we will see a Foki solo laning with the Snorlax coming up slowly, Eevee or the Glaceon in mid with Clefable and Urshifu in bot for EXP Elite Force, as the Urshifu gets the stacks in alongside the Trevenant.
Yeah, a lot of hand holding when it comes to them. Now Blissey actually managing to secure that last bunny on the top side. Froakie needs to get enough farm to actually be relevant in these previous games. And Kafu actually trying to move in as well, trying to secure their respective farm. About minutes left on the board, about 10 seconds left for those Altarias and Swablues. Cinderace actually moving in that time. To be careful.
Yep, just getting at Snosh, just getting absolutely hammered by it. Not much it can do. I don't think the Assault Vest is gonna stop it too much, but we will see if it is able to get any good secures. We will see Ichigai no Tsurugi taking most of those bees as they try and go in for some kills, but are unable to get much off of it as the Blissey is running Safeguard. You see that now.
Oh, beautiful kill onto Aegis by the Cupfu. And that's going to be a double on the bottom side. Junction also securing it, and a couple of energies on the board. I believe this is going to be Spirit Shackle to Decidueye just to have a lot more range. 15 seconds left for the 8-minute mark. Altarias and Swablues as well.
Yep, we did see that the Owl was stacking. I believe he's at 5 stacks currently. And the Urshifu still not level 5. Cupfu very weak, especially in this point in the game where you need your 5 and they will be able to get it. Clefable still at the 4, but not as important. I will say they are
Wicked
going
blow
Wicked Blow.
coming in, but it's a 2v1 scenario. Rob's overextending there. No need to actually move in, especially when the Clefable was not going to be there, or rather Clefairy still. 8-minute mark. And we're still going to see the rotations by Ikigai no Tsurugi, 88 points to 4. A lot of differential when it comes to levels that time. Clefairy forced to run away. Spirit Shackle is going to secure it by Junction.
Yep, and if you're seeing those Wicked Blows are just not doing any damage, they're at such an already at such a heavy HP deficit that they would need to like 4-man 1 person just to try and kill them. And we do have to hope that they have the coordination to figure that out and get it done. Hopefully on maybe their Dodrio or their jungler, as they will be able to kill the Trevenant, getting a bit too greedy there, not able to get out, and we will see everyone go on top end.
Yeah, try to get the Rodrio. Like you mentioned, it's Safeguard helping hand Blissey too. Regieleki is still going to be available for both teams. Big actually starting the rotation that time. Giles still in Frogadier mode. And the rest of Ikigai no Tsurugi actually leveling up. In the meantime, Glaceon actually managing to secure versus Junction. They need to be careful on the bottom side if the Commissioner could actually rotate on that team fight, but we're not going to be able to. Oh, secured by Ikigai no Tsurugi. In the meantime, Galactic forced to run away. Egoist taking it from the Clefable. That's a double kill by Egoist too. And they managed to keep securing Zakari versus the Frogadier. A-Goats versus Glaceon, and a couple of more points on the board now that the Regieleki is actually forced in onto the top zone.
Yep, but it doesn't seem like Ikigai no Tsurugi has anything to really score besides a 7. Oh, yep, a 7 on the Dodrio. The Decidueye is going to ult, and they're going to get 2 kills off of it from what was not that best of a position already. They are going to break. They're not going to break top. They're going to leave it at 1. That is either very unlucky or a very good use of math on their part.
No, it has to be good math. If you want to overdunk it, especially with the advantage that you have, it's definitely going to be something that you're going to look for. And now A-Goat's forced to run away. Galactic still not being able to get the kill onto the tree. It's a 3v1 scenario. Every single one of them actually going in. Unite move this time around, and Egoist is going to start cracking in. Unite move going to force to be out, but uses the Unite move to actually escape the guaranteed Wicked Blow. And now we are seeing that Glaceon actually manages to get A-Goats and continues on forward to actually get that pressure onto Junction.
Yep, we see that the Trevenant going in there and the rest of the team going in to back them up. They thought they were good. Team XP Force thought they were going to have an easy kill, but turns out it's going to be pretty much even trade, as we're going to see the Glaceon and Trevenant fight made. That Trevenant definitely putting in a good amount of work this game. They got all their stacks in early, and they are doing some damage.
Yeah, everybody from the Elite Force rotating upwards, for now Vix is going to do heavy damage, especially versus that Greninja. Unite move going to come out, and they're just going to put on that pressure. Ikigai no Tsurugi taking everybody down. Down goes absolutely everybody, and now a clinic done by the Cinderace. That's a double for Junction and a double for Vix. 1 point left on that top zone, 3 points on the bottom one, and it manages to disappear. So 387 to 9 points only scored. It's a 2v1, and Galactic does not have any type of opportunity to survive that as they continue to invade the jungle.
Yeah, I would not be having a good time if I was EXP Elite Force. All of their bases are broken, and you have a full team of 5 going into your base. They are currently winning the team fight. It is not looking good. All of their unites are thrown in. It seems like they just want to get that in, get as big of a lead as possible to not even let Rayquaza be an option.
And that was such a good Horn Leech as well. A-Goat's actually pushing away the Snorlax that was expecting the barrier. Wicked Blow is going to be able to secure at least 1 onto the Cinderace, but it's Robs versus the world, and the world is Blissey and Junction. Huge Spirit Shackle on their way. 3 minutes in on the board. 601 versus 9 on the side of Ikigai no Tsurugi. Now, contrary to popular belief, the right side is actually Elite Force, not the left. So
Yes,
little
they are
inverted there.
switched. They are switched from the top little screening. So don't get confused by that. But we will have to Sidgewai seeming to just rip that blast Reggie with 30 seconds on the board. It seems like both teams are just trying to get their ults in just to make sure that they can for each guy so we can make sure that they can win this fight and for Team XP Force to try and have a hope of getting some kills that they need. And they're not even going to try and go for that Urshifu. They know it is not worth it to risk their lives at this point.
Yeah, 10 seconds left for the Rayquaza to spawn. All that's left from Ikigai no Tsurugi is to defend. There is really no need to rip anything right now. They have a huge lead, as is so mentioned, but now at least a little bit of a of a back cap from the side of Robs, getting 80 on the board on there, and they just start rotating, and they actually get the Rayquaza.
Whipcomb,
The
as we
distraction on the
said.
side of Elite Four is actually trying to move in one more time. Everybody with a lot of scores on the board. That's 48 on the bottom side, but it's 96. And now they actually managed to explode. That's 100 points. That's 285. How are they going to respond now? Like, the Rayquaza was still going to be played, but how are they going to be able to push forward? It's still a very marked lead from the side of Ikigai no Tsurugi, but it was a good strategy, especially when there was a distraction made by Robs to actually get that back cap with 80 points. Did you manage to secure versus the Cinder Ace, and they score a couple of more points on the middle. 497 points on the board. What else can they do? No, they can't really do much because Ikigai no Tsurugi recognizes and they just put extra points on the board.
Indeed, that was a fantastically played final fight by EXP Elite Force, but sadly they just lost so heavily in the first part. I'm not sure they're going to be able to get it back. That is a possible kill on the tree. Yes, they have 35 seconds left. One kill on the board. That tree will not be back for nearly the entire game. They need to make one person needs to stay back to make sure that Dodrio doesn't get free scores in. But with a Decidueye and a Blissey with a Cinderace, it doesn't seem like you're gonna be able to do much.
Yeah,
Sadly,
15 seconds left, more or less. The final push is going to be done by them, but the people that have points on the board are Galactic and Bic. Last ditch effort to try to get something going. They do get a Unite move onto the Decidueye. There's good defense all around by Ikigai no Tsurugi. The lead was too insurmountable. Not even with the Rayquaza they were going to be able to actually secure the W there. Ikigai no Tsurugi sealing the deal with a 2-0 versus the Elite Force, who put up a great fight right towards the end.
indeed, definitely. I don't believe anyone was really expecting that final fight to go how it did, but sadly, if you lose that hard in the beginning, there's not much you can do. Even if you have a great idea like that to distract them with the Urshifu. That will mean that is a 2-1 in favor of Ichigai no Tsurugi, bringing their record to 9-1, keeping them as the best team in the league.
Really well done by Ikigai no Tsurugi throughout the course of the season. We are seeing flashes of brilliance on the side of Elite Force, however. Like I mentioned beforehand, this is a team that individually they can really put in the work. A lot of team coordination still left to be desired, not gonna lie, but we continue to actually push forward as much as possible and trying to move in, and hopefully for season 2 we can do a lot better. At the same time, we have Super Squad and Dark Aura already in their drafts. Bans on the side of Dark Aura, Urshifu, Comfy, and Mamoswine. On the side of Super Squad, Blissey, Dodrio, and Delphox. Picks on the side of Dark Aura, Slowbro, Clefable, Scizor, and Sylveon. Left side for Super Squad, Hoopa, Gardevoir, and Espeon. Still a defender left to be picked, maybe a speedster as well to round up their composition, and an all-rounder.
Yep, and again, Super Squad back at their old things. They love to ban the Metamon, and it does seem like this is the first game of their set. So again, Dark Aura, this is possibly the second best team in the league, right behind Ichigai no Tsurugi. Super Squad, sadly, the second worst team in the league. I don't want to say worst. That's not really accurate, but they are currently, I believe, 7-2 right now. That is their record. But will they be? But again, they weren't able to. Or again, EXP Elite Force was not able to get the underdog story they wanted, but maybe, just maybe, Super Squad will be able to give us what we want with Dark Aura today. With the Hoopa, Gardevoir, and Espeon, a very good start with 3 very good Pokemon. Espeon, Hoopa being incredibly consistent. Espeon, again, being one of the most popular picks right now, and doing pretty well against all the other things we've seen, against all the mods that we're seeing on Dark Aura's side. Slowbro, Scizor, Sylveon, doing. They don't seem to have much against its Size Shock, which is just a huge amount of burst damage with a very long range.
I feel like Dark Aura know what they're doing in the meta right now. Picking Pokemon that really have a lot of sustain. Slowbro can continue to regenerate their lives. Bullet Punch Scizor can also do a lot of that heavy lifting. Clefable with the healing, obviously, and Sylveon can go one-on-one versus pretty much everybody if you give them the level advantage. So a lot of sustain on the side of Dark Aura. I feel Glass Cannon is on the side of Super Squad with the Gardevoir and the Espeon that can be played well if you maintain them at a distance, especially when you have Hoopa with the hyperspace portal.
Indeed, and of course, you're gonna need some good sustain with the Hoopa portal, because I guess unless they end up going Trick, which is a possibility, that would be very interesting to see. I do believe we saw that a bit earlier today, or did we see a Trick? Did we see a Trick Hoopa earlier today in one of the earliest sets? I don't quite remember.
Mixed Match was using Hoopa versus Team Drip. It was
Right.
Jungle Reefers Team Drip, and they were using the Hoopa. And they round out the composition with the Greninja that time. It would seem like the draft was already going on. Trevenant going to be picked on the side of Super Squad, and rounding it up with the third and final attacker with the Glaceon. Very squishy characters all around. The only squishy character that a Dark Aura has is going to be the Greninja. But we do have to keep in mind it could be a Scyther pick instead of the Caesar pick.
That is true. Trevenant definitely going to be doing a lot of the heavy lifting for their team, for Super Squad's livability and just survivability, especially against Greninja, who is fantastic at jumping on Mon, especially if they end up going Scyther, who just as Greninja is just as good, if not better, at jumping on, and it's one of the mortal enemies of Gardevoirs all across the world. But we will have to wait and see what they end up picking. I am very, I don't know, based on just the picks alone. Who'd you say has the advantage? Because I would definitely say that Dark Aura is in a very good position.
I love Dark Horse Comp right now. I think that they have a very good opportunity to show why the meta is as sustaining as it is right now. If they have the opportunity to extend those team fights and actually go into the back line from the side of Super Squad, it could be really, really good for them. Now, if the commissioner could be answering one of my questions very quickly right now, if Super Squad loses this set, is it up to Magikarp Clan winning tomorrow for them to qualify for playoffs? They can answer that. That'd be great. No. Oh, okay.
But
Oh. Oh my god.
ooh, this is intense.
Oh
Then
my god. Okay. Thank you so much for the commissioner. So Super Squad is officially in playoffs.
yes,
Okay, so the last two teams. Okay, for game differential. Makes total sense. Yeah. Okay. Thank you so much for the commissioner actually clarifying that. So Super Squad in playoffs.
Yep.
Still, still a lot to play for.
Indeed. I don't
Super
know what
Squad.
I don't know what
Right.
any of those words mean. I just think the Pokemon look cool. So
Makes sense to me.
yeah.
I
But
just nod
again,
and agree, and it's a lot easier for me when it comes to
exactly.
actually.
I mean,
Yeah.
hey, I kind of rely on you to know what's happening. So, but yeah, this is a very intense game. We are going to be seeing a lot riding on this, so I'm very excited to see how this is going to go. And we will see. Ooh, the Potion Espeon. That is new. I've never seen that before.
They're
They're
gonna
gonna
change it to
never.
eject button.
They're gonna change it extra. Every time I can't call stuff out. Of course, eject button being a lot more expected, a lot more consistent. Of course, with the Potion Sylveon, I was just about to call out is running X speed, which is expected, but nope, I guess not. But we can't stop him. We'll be running a Potion Sylveon, very, very tanky. It's I don't. I'll be shocked to see if they'll be able to even get a single kill on it. Honestly.
Yeah, if we have a potion, that's going to be your fail-safe. But we're seeing Kersey, Galadite, Blue Kiro get Yoshi. Can't stop him.
Yeah, we
On
do see.
this side. Yeah, go
You
ahead.
see, can't stop him running a security vest or a protection vest, whatever it's called. The thing that blocks special attack, which
Salt Vest?
all of the Salt Vest, which all of the attackers on the enemy team are running. So unlike the Snorlax from last game, this will get a lot of use. Apologies for downing down your team like that, but we
Careful
will.
now.
We will we will see the Greninja in mid. We will see Scyther, Fable top lane with the Eevee and Slowbo bot lane for I don't remember which team that was for. I believe that is for Dark Aura. Yes. And we'll see Trevenant Volts top lane with double Eevee jungle and Hoopa solely doing bot for Team Super Squirtle Squad.
Yeah, makes perfect sense to me. As soon as they get the corresponding levels, you should be able to hit level 4 with both of them. The last EV, however, just missing out just barely. It's moving in with the Scyther this time around, trying to get that in as much as possible. We are seeing the evolution on the Espeon on the right side, so we need to be careful as they continue to move on. So 4 people on the upside. So I'm assuming that Super Squad side, Glaceon actually trying to go in one more time. That's a stun onto the Clefairy. That's going to be the first blood considered onto Super Squad's side.
Yep, we will see 4 people top lane by Super Squad, and they are going to be able to secure most of those bees, I believe we saw. With, again, just the Hoopa bot lane, they did hit level 4, and they are playing the Hyperspace Hull, so they can at any time just portal them down whenever they want, which they will be doing right now. Possibly getting some good kills on the Sylveon. It does seem like they
Trying
are
to get something going, but the Slower actually defending as much as possible, and we're seeing the sustain one more time. Focus Band being the MVP, but it's gonna definitely.
Yep, it's going to
on
just
the bottom side.
Yep, it is hard to kill Slowbo, but when it is like that, this early in the game, it doesn't have nearly as much survivability without its amnesia. And we will see the Espeon going back into jungle as the mid farm does spawn. If we can get a view on it, it does seem like most of the teams are condensing up there. We can't quite see who got most of it. It does look like Dark Aura did get most of them as they won that fight overall, with Greninja currently being level 7.
You mentioned already level 7. And Slower actually trying to move in with the front line, but Curly actually managing to secure that kill onto the Slowbro. Like you mentioned beforehand, if you don't have an amnesia, it's a lot easy. It's a lot more difficult for you to actually have the sustain necessary for these two fights.
Yep, and we're going to see Greninja Surf not able to secure as much as I'm sure he hoped for, but he still did get level 8. He just needs about one more rotation of his farm for 9 before this Reggie starts to spawn. We do see 2 people top lane. We haven't been seeing that many split secure or split objective fights so far in a good while, as that has not been the meta or at all a sort of wanted thing. It's much more common to see 4 people bot or 5v4 bot as one person goes to top.
Actually going on that team fight, managing to secure the Regirock.
And we will, if you're talking, we cannot hear you, but we will see that Team Super Swirl Squad is able to secure that, I believe, as they go top lane and get the Veggie Electric, as well as Team Dark Aura is just going to destroy bot, getting a very big overcapped bot lane, not making the Veggie Electric not even that important, as they are still heavily in the lead even after it. Doesn't seem like we have Chopper back, so it seems like
Hello.
Welcome back, Chopper. We see we have both teams just trying to get as much secure a farm as they can. Not many fights going on, but tell us what is happening so far with the levels.
What's happening is in my mind, but it doesn't really matter. Holy Leech gonna come in with by the Trevenant. Unite Move also going in. Slowbro is in trouble. One more time. Unite Move actually coming in by the Greninja, is trying to sweep everything away, moving in, but the Side Shock is gonna stun them, not quite being able to do absolutely anything. They have a huge lead still. Dark Aura does in point differential. The Super Squad is not letting up. Speed is actually going to be stopped by Unite Move coming in by the Guardian.
And if Team Super Squad does choose to try and push it in, they do have Unite with Scyther and Greninja to stop it.
And do secure it with Rain Axe. Very important for them to get that last hit. Level differential is still pretty marked on the side of Dark Aura, however. Get Yoshi onto the level 12 Greninja. Now trying to focus in on the Gardevoir one more time. They do manage to secure it. Scyther goes in, then goes out. That's a double. Not that bad for the Scyther. Second game being used. Get Yoshi getting reject button on their side too. And we're having a little bit of a team fight downstairs. 3v2.
Yep, a very rough game for Super Squad, but they're not doing that well. But they're not doing that bad, but the Trevenant is going to die yet again as the rest of the team tries to back off, but they can't stand. If they just stand in the hyperspace hole, they will die, so they are not able to take it back. That might have just been a fat finger on the Fable ult, as that is their close combat. But they will get this Reggie Ice. So, not that impactful, but at this point in the game, you might as well take it if it is completely free for you. And as we see, now both teams just going in mid, setting up their places, as it looks like Team Dark Aura wants to take a fight bot lane.
Moving in forward that time, Rayquaza is going to spawn right about now. Having a huge lead still, Dark Aura is Super Squad trying to move together as a team, trying to get some stuff going when it comes to the extended team. Everybody being forced away. And now they're starting to actually hit it and see what Dark Aura can do about it. Surf from the Slowbro moving in. Galadite and the Unite Move actually coming in, but they do manage to get rid of the Gardevoir. Hoopa is going to go down as well. That's a double by Get Yoshi. Looks like Dark Aura pretty much a clean sweep in that last team fight. They do secure the Rayquaza, and it's pretty probable that they get this first game.
Yep. Team Super Squad seemingly trying to go for a quick rip at the very beginning, but getting distracted or just not committing to it, which will lead to them losing the first game of the set. Sadly, it did seem pretty even for a good bit there. They were about 100 points behind for most of the game, but they definitely weren't getting absolutely destroyed in the team fights. It was pretty even. Kills being traded, scores being traded. It was not at all any sort of steamroll. Though it was a very low damage game, honestly. The highest damage on both teams being 90, being basically the exact same, with 61k.
Pretty much a lot of damage on both sides. Though a lot of passive play, I would say, just because of the damage alone. A lot of the rotations on the side of Zarkor were actually pretty crisp. They were actually getting onto the objectives necessary. Saucy doing whatever they possibly could to get the damage in, but JV Smooth actually showing up with the Glaceon a lot. They did have an opportunity on the last team fight to actually get some stuff going, but Darkora pretty much read the map correctly and made sure to stay as together as you possibly can, and very important, a Scyther W on the board.
Yep, sadly the Gardevoir ult, I believe, only got one person, and sadly that's just not going to be that impactful when you have multiple people. It's like the Scyther, like the Greninja, and the Sylveon, who can deal with nearly all of you pretty easily. You do need to get at least 2 of them in there. They just weren't able to do it. So sadly, that will be a loss for Team Super Squad, and Darko will take that. Though So who do you think that Dark or should I say Super Squad is going to try and just ban? Who do you think they had the most trouble with that game?
I feel like if you get rid of the sustain from the side of Dark Aura, that's going to be your best bet. And trying to go for something that can actually try to deal as much damage as possible. If you want to rock with something that's an attacker, I would pick personally Razor Leaf Decidueye would be something to actually deal with the Slowbro a lot better. Slowbro would definitely be one of those bans that I would do just to avoid dealing with that amount of damage possible, though they did not seem to have trouble killing it in the early game. So I feel like most of the rotations that they're going to go for should be a lot more crisp and a lot more together. They do have their own style of play, maybe not leaving the support alone and leaving an all-rounder, for example, that has a solid early game at the beginning could benefit them. Something along the lines of maybe like a Gibble from Garchomp, right? Mm-hmm. If they can go like alone in lane, it's going to be a lot more difficult for you to secure. But if you're going to go for that 4-1 composition, it's a lot easier for you.
I do agree. I would say, honestly, I would ban the Greninja out of first things, as I do believe the Scyther, while they were playing well, it was definitely Get Yoshi's Greninja doing most of the damage there. Though the problem with the Super Squirtle Squad that we have seen is that they are not very effective with their bans. They like to ban the same like 4 Mon every single game. Last time it was Urshifu, I believe Blissey, and Tyranitar, and that's all they would ban every single game. Now, that's not necessarily a bad play. Those are very good Pokemon. But if they aren't being picked and you are not particularly doing well against the current team you're fighting, it is a good idea to try and switch up your picks or switch up your bans and try and disrupt the enemy team, because that is exactly what they will be doing to you. And we will see the Urshifu ban from Super Squad, a Comfey ban, and a Dodrio ban from Dark Aura.
Strong Mons, especially if you don't have the tools to deal directly with the Dodrio. Clefable going to be banned on the side of Super Squad makes a lot of sense, and actually picking Blissey first. I really like that strategy, making sure that you have that healing or whatever it is that you're going to go for. A Safeguard Helping Hand is going to be another one. And for those of you that are in chat, I do eat pancakes with my hands, but I usually just dip them in the syrup. So I just fold them and just dip them. Sometimes if I don't have like a fork on me, I think it's optimal.
I do agree. It is just too fun eating food with your hands, especially those McDonald's pancakes. They're so fun.
Yes,
they're the best.
They're so good.
Right?
Yes, they're really good. They're really good.
But we will see, back to the game, we will see the Slowbro pick
with the Hoopa, I'm sure Hoopa loves the McDonald's pancakes as well. But we will see a Blissey pick for Super Squirtle Squad. Dear Lord, the names in this league is gonna be the death of me.
Gotta
But
get him with the triple S.
yep, we will see that they first picked Blissey, not an uncommon first pick at all. Very important Pokemon, and I do think it'll definitely help them against the team comp that Dark Oil played last game. But I would not be shocked to see that Dark Oil tries to switch things up a bit. Though they are again, they are playing the Soba that you wanted banned, and they are playing the Hoopa that I do believe actually Super Squirtle Squad had the Hoopa last time, correct? I do believe they
Yeah,
had
the
that.
rotations were on there. Yeah, because
Yes.
they ran the triple attacker comp and actually getting
Correct.
They
Okay.
did.
So Darko is going to take it from Super Squirtle Squad, as it seemed that was the thing that they were most afraid of, which is completely understandable, as that was letting them just get pretty much. I mean, they pretty much couldn't fight two objectives at the same time, so they were
Mhm.
giving up the Regielektric, which they clearly weren't that concerned about, but still, you might as well take it, as it is a very good Pokemon on its own. But we will see the Delphox and the Blastoise. Have we seen a Delphox yet today? I don't think so. I don't think we have.
No, we haven't. It's been
haven't.
banned. But we are gonna have some anti-healing, and we are gonna have some crowd control. A lot of mobility actually done as well. Maybe they can get some stuff going. Blastoise being the defender to be picked on the side of Super Squirtle Squad. And Dark Aura one final pick before going into the final phase of the banning.
Yep. I'm very happy to see a Delphox finally. It's been a good while in this league. Though it is a shame. I don't think they already have their supporters set, and it's a Slowbro and a Hoopa. And I just don't think Delphox does too well into them. They're not bad, but I would expect something more like against a Blissey or against like a Fable, which they themselves banned. But we will see with a Sylveon, which could hamper it a good bit due to its Draining Kiss. Or is it? It is Draining Kiss. Yes, that is its move.
Yeah, Mystical Fire Draining Kiss is usually the composition that we have been seeing. Because of the rise of Slick Spoon, there are also probabilities of actually running Hyper Voice just to get that extra damage in. But it's not a common build. It's usually just like you mentioned, Draining Kiss, Mystical Fire.
Indeed. I do personally prefer playing Hyper Voice. I think it's a lot more enjoyable to play, though I do understand that the sustain and it is still good damage from the Mystical Fire, but we will see a good Ninja ban on Dark Aura's part. They know for a fact I guess they don't want to get Yoshi on their teammate again. They're probably just forcing him to play some more Mon. But maybe they also just don't want Super Squirtle Squad taking it from them, so they're just gonna take it themselves. But we'll see a Glaceon build from Super Squirtle Squad in return. Very interesting. They did play Glaceon last game. Dark Lord did play Glaceon. Super Squirtle Squad played Glaceon last game.
Yeah, they did. They
They
want to
are-
be respected as well.
They are banning their own mods. That's very interesting. I mean, we will see a Buzzwole. That's an interesting pick. I guess again.
The counter for Blastoise.
Mhm.
Remember that Smackdown?
Yeah,
is
yeah,
just
yeah.
Grab
We
him out
did
of the
not-
rapid spin.
We did see that banned last, or I believe in the first set, but now we get to see in its full beauty the anti Blastoise Buzzwole with
This-
Decidueye.
I really like this actually. Like I
and
mentioned, it's kinda-
Charizard.
oh, overrated, but you know, it is what it is.
Yeah, I mean, hey, like with this comp, it's pretty. I mean, it does give them a very good late game with the Charizard, the Blastoise, the Delphox. That pretty much like, if I was a betting man, which I am, I would bet good money on that winning rate fight if it goes well for them.
Yeah, Charizard can still do pretty much a good deal of damage. But you really have to be one of those specialists to actually make it work, especially, for example, if you're going on to solo queue with Charizard. It's not a pick and play like some of the characters that are in the game right now. And they do seal it with a Dragapult. Probably going to be Dragon Dance Dragapult.
Two very
unconventional, we'll say, last pick mods, Charizard and Dragapult, they have not been very popular at all the past few weeks or so. Dragapult, it's a fine mod, it has very good damage, but it doesn't but it's a rip mod without a good secure. So honestly, Dark Aura just doesn't have much of a secure, so maybe they're relying on the Sylveon to actually play Hyper Voice and do it instead. That could be interesting. That could be an interesting comp. But
Yeah, what
if
I really am enjoying is they went for a full sustain comp Dark Aura did, and because of the different picks that Super Squirtle Squad actually got this time around, I feel like they forced them on different picks that could actually favor them a lot more. And if you have a Decidueye right in the back line trying to deal that DPS as much as possible, it is going to be easier for you to take down the characters that give you a lot of sustain. The problem is that if once you lose that front line from Blastoise to Buzzwole SmackDown, how are they going to rotate in the team fights to actually get a more beneficial advantage? We do have the Delphox that can zone them away with the Unite move, so that's going to be anti-healing, especially for the Sylveon and the Slowbro. Can that be enough to force the game 3?
Indeed, and with the Dragapult, if it's running Dragon Dance, I know for a fact you don't even need to get rid of that front line if it is able to just move or just dance right around the Blastoise and get behind it to the Decidueye. There's not much it's going to be able to do, as I do believe it wins that 1v1 pretty easily. And against Super Scroll Squad, I haven't seen too much Decidueye from them, so I'm not sure how good their Decidueye is, but it would take a very skilled and knowledgeable, experienced Decidueye to effectively and consistently win that fight. So, though that is to say, I haven't seen Dark Aura's Dragapult, at least not in a very good while.
Yeah, it's
That's
some of those picks that we continue to see, like the pockets of these players are pretty much endless. We are going to be able to almost have seen all of the roster being played. Very minimal Pokemon have not been played or at least picked or banned, and during the course of the 10 weeks that we have been able to play. So, how are they going to respond as we move into the itemization process? Yeah, Yoshi going to be on the Dragapult, and Kersey actually rocking the Sylveon. Blue Kiro on the Hoopa, Galadite, trusty Slowbro, can't stop him on the Buzzwole, too fun to kill. Putting on a little bit of carry pants there with the Blastoise Saucy onto the Decidueye, JV Smooth on the Charizard, Raynax switching to Delphox instead of the Gardevoir. Gonna get that extra mobility, especially when using Flame Charge. Lechonk with the Blissey and putting on that hood to get some extra healing or barrier.
Yep, and we will see two float stones, one on the Owl and one on the Charizard. Floatstone, not a very good move, not a very good item with Charizard, as what you want to be doing is basically just constantly farming. If you don't have your ult, you either use your ult or you get your ult to farm to then use it immediately after. So you're basically just hitting stuff the entire game. So I'm not quite sure how that's going to work for them, but we will have to wait and see as the second game of the last set of the night is starting right now.
Yes, interestingly enough with the composition, Charizard is also going to be running X attack. It's going to be increased damage, but the attack speed is still going to remain the same, which is part of the reason why Charizard right now can be a little jarring to use in compositions, because you have things like Muscle Band, Rapid Fire, Scarf that don't really work in regards to the attack speed of the mon. So you are going to have some extra damage, and Muscle Band is still an excellent item just because of the DPS that you can do. And we are seeing the sustain right now versus the Eevee that's just about to go down. No, actually managing to escape that time. So good pressure from the side of Super Squirtle Squad. Dark Aura forced to retreat on the bottom side.
Yep, they are forced to take both of their berries as, again, Super Squirtle Squad is going to 4-man a lane, one of their favorite plays to do. And I believe the Charizard was able to just secure that little piece of farm from them. You will see that all of Dark Aura's bot lane does have their first power spikes for these bot Bs.
Going in that time, and we are seeing the Dracloak going in, hyperspace portal being used, and this is part of the reason why you really want to go for this competition. Dracloak actually getting the Fennekin and moving in, but overextending now that Charmeleon is going to be on the board. Sylveon trying to zone everybody away. Blissey just about to go down and effectively does so. Buzzwole moving in, and Fennekin not really much you can do in a 1v3. That's a double kill by the Buzzwole. Not much you can do. Can't stop him, won't stop him. Continuing to put on that pressure.
Yep, that beast boost on the Buzzwole. Once it gets one kill and it can just not be stopped. Getting another kill and scaring off the one remaining player as it goes back up to bot lane. Now level 6, not even 8 minutes, not even past 8 minutes. It just hit level 7. It is above their own jungler. As mid Bs have spawned, Servo takes them. It does seem like Blissey on Super Squad side is able to secure the big B.
We have 4 players of the Super Squad actually moving in. Breakson leveled up. Sylveon moving in. Kersey trying to get some much needed damage. And it's going to be Mystical Fire draining Kiss. And now moving in one more time. So it's a 3v4. Wartortle trying to put on that pressure. Too fun to kill. Going up to can't stop him. Right on the top side. We're seeing actually Dracloak in a 4v4 on the bottom side. 15 seconds left on the board. Can't stop him. Just pushing in onto Too Fun to Kill. In the meantime, everybody else trying to fight as much as possible. 5 seconds left on the board for the Reggie on the bottom side. In the meantime, can't stop him. Going to take that W over the Wartortle, and it's a Reggie steal. Super important. As they move in, Saucy trying to get some more damage in, but now Kersey moving on forward. United move on to the Charmeleon. They're going to go down, and now even more sustain going to be done by them. Get Yoshi barely surviving on that last one. Spirit Shackle is not going to hit on the mark because Blue Keto is going to secure that victory, and they do manage to get the Reggie steal as well. Delphox is going to be on the fray.
Yep, sadly, Super Squad not able to get a secure with the Disintegrate like they needed. They were able, Dark Lord was able to just go in, force a fight like they needed to, and they did win quite easily. As the Blastoise and the large B Mosquito Buzzwole is going to just keep fighting it, and I assume try and get as much farm as it can, as it is now level 10. And that will be a secure on the Decidueye for the Regieleki. Unsure if they'll be able to get it in though, with both of their attackers defending base. Does seem like they're. Oh, you go.
Yeah, in the meantime, we do have action on the bottom side. Slowbro, Galadite actually putting 21 on the board, 209 points to nothing. Right now, Dark Aura actually making a statement. We're seeing the Smackdown actually coming in. Wartortle is going to go down. That's another Unite move. Can't stop him. Won't stop him. Miley Cyrus fan right there. Another Smackdown on the candy butts of Super Squirtle Squad. And they continue to put on that pressure. Can't stop. Gonna also take it. That's a Quadra. We might see a Penta, but it's still going to move in. That's a Blissey and a Wartortle. Not enough to stay. That's a Penta kill.
They wanted that. They risked their life. They could have gotten out, but they said, no, I want the Penta kill, and they got it. They could have, not particularly the best play, but my lord, it sent a message. We will see. They finally have Charizard now. The rest of the team does have their Unites finally for this next fight, possibly in bot lane. It does seem the Sylveon getting a bit too excited. They are going to ult, and that will. The Charizard's going to use ult just to kill it. Not the best use of its ult, as it is preferably used in a large team fight. It does seem like the Dragapult, Sobo, and Buzzwole are going to be able to rip it, and Disintegrate just going to come in just a bit too late, not able to secure it, and they will get it for Dark Aura.
Yeah, can't stop them. Trying to move into the front. That's a Smackdown on to the Blastoise. Too Fun to Kill, surviving as much as possible, just getting hit non-stop. A lot of sustain now. Smackdown actually going in one more time. They do manage to get the kill on to the Too Fun to Kill, but that's a double onto the Decidueye. That's a triple right now. Super Squirtle Squad actually responding very, very well. Saucy trying to get as much damage in as possible. That's a double on the side of the Dragapult. I'm trying to snipe him right on the outside, not quite being able to do so, but a Quadra being responded back by Saucy. Trying to get some more stuff going, but 278 to nothing right now.
Ryan going to give us a little bit of a spin, show his enthusiasm for it, but we will see a fight coming up on bot lane. It just seems Charizard does have their ult again, and they can use it. This is the last chance for most of them to use their ultimates. We will see the Delphox ult, the Buzzwole ult going in. The objective is low, and that will be a secure for Dark Aura with the Buzzwole absolutely dominating this game.
Can't stop, won't stop. Dragapult securing this on to Saucy. And moving in a little forward now. Kersey securing the kill on their own. That's a double for Get Yoshi.
And it gets in.
It goes in. Trying to put some more points on the board. That's 50 points on the Dragapult. Get Yoshi getting overdunk this if they possibly can. Beautiful math. Getting those 13 points in before actually trying to get some stuff going. The Super Squirtle Squad actually trying to move in now. Too Fun to Kill. Moving in one more time. JV Smooth trying to survive as much as possible. Get Yoshi trying to get that W onto the Decidueye, but not being able to do it. Get Yoshi with a triple kill. And Saucy surviving just long enough. With 20 seconds left for Rayquaza to spawn, it's a 468 advantage to nothing on the side of Dark Aura.
Super Squirtle Squad said, no, you are not going to get another Penta on us. They are able to get the very much important EXP from the level 14 Dragapult, which is going to be very useful as they are going to come to bot. Their best chance is to try and use the Charizard ult, try and Blissey ult him, and just hope that that is able to win them the game. They do know where the Buzzwole is. Hopefully that can give them some very useful information. No doubt.
Trying to move in that time. And now we're moving on to the team fight. Too Fun to Kill using the Unite move onto the Slowbro and onto the Sylveon. A really good Unite move actually used, but a little too early maybe. The snipe almost going to go in. Beautiful Unite move by JV Smooth. Killing that Buzzwole was definitely the priority, and they also take down Get Yoshi. They start rotating towards the Rayquaza. They do have an opportunity if they can get it. Come on, Super Squirtle Squad, force that game number 3, but Hoopa's not letting them have it as well. Blue Keto trying to do the best that they can. They do secure it. Saucy trying to do this on a rampage. They managed to get Gladite down, and Hoopa trying to do the best that they can to try to defend. Now the first scores for the game are going to start going in by Super Squirtle Squad. That's going to be 100 points on the side. 374 versus 468. That's 100 points on the side. And just like that, Super Squirtle Squad actually being early. Are they going to be able to defend this? No. 530 points, 45 seconds left on the board. Dark Aura now in the back pedal. This is why Rayquaza can change absolutely everything in these team fights.
And Ryan yet again showing his enthusiasm. Dark Aura does have 30 seconds to push to try and get just 100 points in, not even about 60 or 70 points of a difference. They do need a bit. They just need one cap to win this game, but they are not going to let them. Super Squirtle Squad's Charizard is going to ult the Sylveon, living quite a while, and it doesn't seem like they're going to get another score off. As the Charizard's going to come in, the rest of the team's going to defend perfectly, and that will be a win for Super Squirtle Squad. And just like all their other games, they will bring this to a third game of the set.
Pentakills, be damned. Quadra kills, be damned. Early game, be damned. 468 to nothing, be damned. Look at that comeback, the biggest comeback that we've seen in the Unite World Coronation League. Super Squirtle Squad showing their stuff. JV Smooth with that last Unite move, actually getting Can't Stop them right towards the end. Because they had such an advantage, the respawn timers were so long, and it just gave them an opportunity in that last team fight to secure that Rayquaza and push a lot forward.
Yep, we saw Dark Aura. They were definitely just way too confident there. The Buzzwole, they could have backed, but they wanted that Penta, and it came to bite them in the butt right at the end of the game when they least expected it. And that, again, is just what we love about the game. It is never over until the last second. And we see that perfectly right here, right now, as we see Charizard doing 88k damage, Buzzwole from Can't Stop Him doing 77k. Very good for the character who normally gets around 40k, 50k on a good game. As we saw, they were absolutely destroying mid-game. They definitely know this character very well. I would not be shocked to see a ban on it this game by Super Gold Squad, but instead
And
they
they
will
do not want to fight against Hoopa. Too much mobility on the map. They recognize this, and they moved into that particular scenario where Shifu and Comfy being banned by the side of Dark Aura, Hoopa being banned on Super Squirtle Squad side. I think that is the right thing to do. And Super Squirtle Squad actually trying to move in and see what's going to be the second ban. Buzzwole was looking pretty saucy, not being pretty much used, but the Clefable is going to be the ban on their side, and we're waiting on that first pick. If they go for Blastoise, we know that Dark Aura is going to go for Buzzwole for sure.
Yep, and this is my main issue with Super Skull Squad and why I think they aren't doing better is because they are not able, or at least not willing, to change up their bans. Again, we saw this is the exact same thing, or at least they banned Clefable at the same time last game, even though we haven't even seen it this set. So we don't even know if Dark Aura plays Clefable. So it seems they're more concerned with banning the meta or what they know is good than what is giving them trouble. Now, granted, they did win last game, but that could be explained as more of as a fluke or just luck, and you do not want to rely on luck in this game. As we are waiting for Super Scott's first pick. It could be really anything from Blissey to Trio or Trevenant, or maybe they're trying to first pick the Mon, or maybe they're trying to first pick Buzzwole instead. Maybe they want it for themselves. Who knows? And some more.
Moving now, Espeon is going to be the pick, and Mamoswine to try to counteract what Dark Aura wants to do with the Slowbro and the Dodrio. You're going to have a lot of crowd control there. Blissey for the first pick on Super Squad side. I really like that. Espeon being right in the flanks. If you want to stop that Dodrio, it is going to be pivotal for Espeon to hit those skill shots. Just part of the reason why I actually picked Sword Power Future Set, because I suck at the game. But that is besides the point. Dark Aura still have that one pick left before the final band of tonight.
Hey, it's a hard move to play, but you know what else is hard? Dodrio.
True.
One of the most difficult, if not the most difficult mods to learn and to play in this game. My lord, have you tried learning it? It is impossible. But we do see Mamoswine, a very good counter to Dodrio, along with Wigglytuff. It seems like they're going to take it. Maybe we'll see another rollout Wiggly. Who knows? I do love my rollout Wiggly. We will see Tyranitar banned by Dark Aura. Again, that is a favorite of Super Scroll Squad. It's almost as if they know that and they're saying, no, you're going to ban something else. Let's see what they pick. I'm very excited to see. Maybe they will pick probably a Delphox, Scyther, Scissor. We will have to wait and see.
So the pick on the Wigglytuff and the ban on the T-Tar is actually
what's
super
this?
important for them. They do manage to eliminate the true damage compositions that can actually pretty much be the vein of the existence of Wigglytuff. You can put all the shields that you want, but if you have that true damage, it's just gonna go through the shields anyway. So that's pretty solid picks overall. And going for the Mew this time around, actually go in lane to fight against the Espeon. The extra range can be very beneficial for them, especially in the early game. Super Squad actually, with the recognition, actually going for the Sidgewai this time around with the Spirit Shackle. Saucy was really doing a really good job at flanking and kiting back and surviving throughout those team fights, right? So it does make sense to actually go for it one more time, and they're going to go for the trusty Charizard. The thing that was the pick that actually won them the previous game. They targeted Buzzwole towards the end of the Rayquaza. They got a lot of damage onto it, and it was because of the chase of the Charizard as well as the Sidgewai that could actually put in that damage.
Indeed, and we will see the Greninja as the last pick from Dark Aura, a pretty good jungler. And then the Mew. I am very interested to see if it's most likely going to end up being a secure battle between the Mew and the Decidueye, if not at least a poke battle. Though I am interested to see what role the Wigglytuff is gonna be playing here. Could give it it's all will give the Dodrio a useful bit of CC nullification, but I don't think that alone is worth it. So clearly they have some other idea. Clearly they think either its tanking abilities or its damaging abilities are worth picking it above Mew and Greninja. We'll have to wait and see how how not I guess useful it ends up being against this team. Do you have the Charizard Decidueye, two Pokemon that I don't think Wigglytuff does too well against?
I feel like it's gonna be super important for Dodrio and Greninja to go into that back line and try to find those angles in the extensions of the team fights to actually get some stuff going. I like Dark Aura, but I'm kind of leaning towards Super Squirtle Squad's composition more. I don't know what you think.
Honestly, I'm leaning on Dark Aura, and it is 90% just because of the Dodrio. I think what we've seen from Dodrio this league is that if they pick Dodrio, they are most likely very confident in it. And a confident Dodrio is something absolutely terrifying that cannot be replicated in this game. And of course, can't stop him. The one who's playing
Oh,
Buzzsaw last game,
oh,
something tells me they know what they're doing with a Razor Claw, Muscle Band, and Aeos Cookie double stacking with full heal. This is going to be very intense.
all is on the board. Bragging rights, but contentions for top. Super Squirtle Squad trying to do whatever they can to get this win and get some more momentum. 10 seconds left on the board. No, there's not going to be any changes. Rainax is going to rock the potion. Mamoswine with the rapid fire scarf. JV Smooth. Even though the float stone you said was not an optimal choice, it is something that they prefer, especially when it comes to chasing down opponents, and that's what actually made them catch the Buzzwole in the end. Can it be enough for this team that started from the bottom and now they are tied in games versus one of the best teams in the league? Dark Aura Super Squirtle Squad game number 3. Everybody wants to close out their week number 10 with a W. Let's see if the Squirtles can do it.
Indeed, let's hope they can. We will see a double EXP share on the side of Dark Aura. We will see Mew Slowbro going bot lane with the Froakie going mid, Dodrio Wigglytuff going top lane as Mamoswine goes to solo top just a bit. Seems like Chansey's a bit slowly trying to get into mid with the Decidueye as Eevee and Charmander are in bot as well. It seems just like a few games ago, a few weeks ago, we will see a rapid fire Mamoswine in lane by itself. Let's see if it's able to get another duo kill like the last one was able to.
Moving in on the board, Dark Aura with the early advantage one more time. Defense going to be the name of the game, especially if you want to get that Swinub as much experience as possible. And moving in on the board that time around. It's not that much that you can do, especially when you're going up against everybody 1v3. Dodrio already up there. Yep, that's going to be the secure and a very important kill onto that Frogadier too.
Yep, Super Squirtle Squad doing their favorite 4v3 lane. It does seem like they are able to get most, if not all of those Bs against the Mew and Slowbro as they're going to try and push in. Ooh, in the Decidueye, like a ninja, is going to just flash right out of that solar beam that would have killed it otherwise. Seems like they're going to be able to get out a single kill. But they did get a lot of scores in.
Oh, yeah, beautiful charged up move by Mew as well, but we are seeing a change for the Slowbro from Golodite. They recognize that they're going to have a lot of damage on the side of Super Squirtle Squad, and actually going Scald is super important. But now Saucy is being pretty much wrecked versus Can't Stop Him, which is going to be a hell of a problem if that Dodrio gets going, as it is invading jungle right now. Did you manage to secure it with the sweet spot onto the side shock, but what can they do, especially since Can't Stop Him is still going to go in on the Saucy? Not looking like Can't Stop Him has the sauce right now. Flamethrower from Charmeleon trying to get the distance necessary to force that Dodrio out of the way. Manages to escape, barely unscathed, a little bit of damage actually dealt, but nothing that they cannot recover from. With 20 seconds left on the board for the respective Reggies. Going to be pivotal for this team fight to go well for Super Squirtle Squad, but they do get a couple of points on the board, so it's not going to be as an insurmountable lead as they saw in that second game to make the beautiful comeback.
Yep, and we will see the Bees pretty evenly spread out between both teams. And Dodrio still top lane by themselves, fighting each other. Just seems like Dodrio has the advantage as it's phasing a bit for me, but we will see Greninja and Mew start to rip on the side of Dark Aura. Hopefully they think they can get the secure, but the Greninja is going to go in for the kills. They're going to get a 3-man. Can they get a 4-man? They will get a 4-man on the Sidgewai. That was clearly just trying to sort of distract them and lead them in there. That's what they wanted all along.
Yeah, Greninja really had the vision necessary to try to predict where everybody was going to go. Lands in between absolutely everybody, and that's exactly why you picked this Pokemon in the first place. And most of everybody from Super Squirtle Squad's side had very low life, so you just go in and surf until none of them are left. They do manage to secure Regice as well, and the pressure that Can't Stop them is doing in the jungle is being pretty much nasty business for Dark Aura. They are not messing around this game 3.
Yep, same thing they did last game. They are pushing bot lane, getting even more scores, and so now even if the enemy team does end up getting the Regieleki, which we are not sure they will, it is a Mew. If they are able to get it, not even with Solar Beam, with their Electro Ball, so they are able to secure that, then it's going to be a very useful thing, as it's going to be pushed into their second base with Wiggly breaking top.
Oh, Can't Stop them trying to move away that time, but we are seeing the safeguard and the helping hand from Blissey actually defending a little better. United move coming out by Saucy, and the United move actually from the Espeon that time taking care of the Wigglytuff. This is a little bit of a problem Dark Aura has had. They overextending these team fights, and they can give an opportunity for Super Squirtle Squad to defend and actually get some more experience in. So they need to be careful, especially when it comes to actually pushing their advantages.
Yep, there's definitely a bit of a late Gren ult. That fight was very clearly already over by the time they jumped in. But now we do have the Charizard ult, which is going to be very important here as the Dodrio tries to score. Likely going to give his life for this if they are unable to get out, which it does seem he's definitely putting up a fight, but with a mixture of the Dodrio ult of the Dodrio and the Charizard, they are going to even kill it as its own team uses that as a distraction to get the Reggie Ice. But Team Soul Squad is going to be able to get some useful scores top lane.
Yeah, at least. And now Espeon defending solo on the bottom side. Everybody else. Seeing the Unite move one more time, and they managed to break that zone as well, and they move towards the middle. 40 points scored by the Charizard. The level differential actually going in. Rhino having a lot of fun with the camera. Level 11s across the board from the side of Dark Aura. Level 12, level 10, level 11. 2 double 10s on Super Squirtle Squad's side. Finally a level 10 from the Mamoswine. They're trying to keep it as together as they possibly can for these last few team fights, but Greninja and Mew starting to get away. The rotations are going to start going forward towards the Super Squirtle Squad side. Unite move is going to be used on the Dodrio, who manages to just simply move away and run away and escape. You can't stop him, and you won't stop him from scoring in the middle either.
He's going to get an easy about 14 in mid as the Regieleki tries to get into the mid with the stopping them. It seems that Super Squirtle Squad a good bit sort of spread out. They can't really push a specific point right now. They're unable to get a kill on the Dodrio, sadly. But yeah,
426 points for 124. Level differential is still going to be in favor of Dark Aura. Level 11s across the board except for 2 on the side of Super Squirtle Squad. Solar Beam going to drain out the shield from the Blissey. 10 seconds left on the board now. 2 minutes and 40. Things are
Both
starting to get a
teams-
little hairy.
Both teams trying to take this Reggie fight, hoping it's possibly a Reggie steal. Can be very useful. It is a Reggie steal. If whichever team gets this will have a huge attack increase. Depending on who gets
Oh my
this,
God.
this could be game changing. It is the Super Squirrel Squad. And they, without even risking a single ult or life besides the, I can't tell who that was. It was the Blissey.
It was a
not
Blissey.
that
It was a
important.
Blissey that was
And the
actually
Mammoth
gonna go
Swine,
down.
and the
Mammoth
Mammoth
Swine
Swine.
as well. So
And-
3 of the attackers on
That
the
does-
side of Super Squad.
That did also break the Mammoth Swine's focus span, which could be very impactful. The Dodrio going in, getting the cheeky scores off, about 40 points. It doesn't really matter at this point what they score. All it's going to come down to Radel, just like it did last game.
And they clutch this out right at the end. Icicle Charge coming down from the Mammoth Swine. Gets a little damage from the Solar Beam. Nothing to scoff at as of right now. Dodrio actually in the middle of everybody. Solar Beam going to come out. Look at all that damage actually done by the Dodrio in the first place. And Charizard actually trying to chase him out. JV Smooth doing whatever they can to actually make it happen. And they do manage to secure it. Can't stop him is down. Can't stop him is down. And they continue to actually extend on those team fights. Wigglytuff is going to go down. The Unite move going to come in by JV Smooth. Probably going to go in as well. Get Yoshi doing whatever they can to actually try to clean them away, and this time the team fight goes in favor of Dark Aura.
Indeed, the Charizard choosing to go and chase the Dodrio instead of taking down the team that is all grouped up could have very much just cost them the game right now. They have about 45 seconds left on the board to get just under 400 points in. Super Scroll Squad doesn't even need to make some big at-cap plays, or they need to rip this away right now, which it seems is exactly what they're doing.
Yeah, Dark Aura is a little spread out. They need to be careful now, because it's actually going to move into the last engage of the fights. The health bars from the side of Super Squad are actually going down quickly. Unite move going to come in, and they manage it to secure it, but at what cost?
They are all dead. It
4
doesn't even
members
matter.
of Super Squirtle Squad are all gone. 7 seconds left on the board. It's going to be probably 100 points by the Espeon, but a good secure a little too late to the party.
Yep, that
Unfortunate for Super Squirtle Squad.
that fight needed to happen like half a minute, if not earlier. And it is a shame, but we will see. Well, no, I don't want to say a shame. Makes me sound like I hate Dark Aura. I don't. I'm talking for
Lily is a Dark Aura hater. We already
No,
know.
it's-
no, I'm joking. I'm joking.
I love my friends at the Dark Aura. They're all absolutely fantastic. But it is a shame to see that Super Skull Squad is not able to take home after. Again, we've said it once, and we'll say it again. They are nowhere near a bad team. They have just made some crucial mistakes that have cost them multiple games. But we see here again tonight that they know what they're doing. They are able to win even against one of the best teams in the entire league. But they aren't able to take it home. We'll see Dark Aura going 2-1 for the last set of the night. And we see Can't Stop them. I would definitely say being the MVP of the entire set. Definitely, their Buzzful first game was extraordinary, and the Dodrio going into the bad camps, just messing up with the jungle. Absolutely fantastic to watch, and I assume it was very fun to play as well.
And that's going to be it for us tonight. The last game has been played for Thursday, but tomorrow we're going to have 2 bangers. Team Roqueto versus War Legion, and then Team Aura Esports going to fight out against Magikarp Clan. This has been Chopper Fiar and Lily the Goddess bringing you some commentary. So Rhino, take us away for the final send-off of the day 1 of week 10 of the Unite World Correlation League.
Yes, thank you guys very much for watching, and thank you everybody for tuning in as we will be getting our raid set off. I do definitely want to say GG's to all the teams today. That's going to wrap up week 10, at least for today, but tomorrow we do have 2 more matches ready to go, as we will have War Legion versus, I believe, one second, I had this down and I had it all the way through, just did not War Legion versus Team Rocketo. Team Rocketo being a very, very kickstart from the week 1. They've been very, very big and very, very good as of yet. So they've been taking a lot of the big teams all the way down to Game 3. So I can only expect War Legion having to have for the fight of their life. For Team Rocketo, it does matter for them to win this match as well, as they could go on to being in a better seed to where they are at currently. And then you have Team Aura Esports versus Magic Carp Clan as well. And Team Aura Esports also has a chance to get themselves better, as next week we will have our first week of playoffs going along with the league. And I also will be announcing our first play-in tournament for our league, as well, as we have 4 teams that will not be returning apparently. So with that, we will have 4 tournaments that are going to have all teams that are going to have to be eligible to play in to be in the league, as I know a bunch of teams are trying to get into the league. So at that point, I do definitely want them to have that ability to get in as much as possible, and we will go ahead and get that together as well. So thank you guys very much for hanging out, and I greatly do appreciate it, as we will get going and going ahead and raid on to, I believe the chat has spoken, and I believe we're going to go to, forgot who they said, 1 second.
They said a few people.
I know there was like 4 people that everybody announced. I put a little poll.
Scalded, I believe.
Yeah, there was like 4 people. I don't see one of them on. I think the people who actually voted for that person. So we're just gonna go ahead and go over and raid Scolded for now. We will again raid tomorrow as well. So make sure, if you guys want me to raid you, come in and on in, and we will get everything going. So make sure you guys send the love, get in for the day, go over to Scolded, say hello. Make sure you guys go ahead and follow him, as he is probably one of the best Delphox players. If you are a Delphox player in this league and you want to learn from the best, this is the guy to learn from, because they get hundo burgers as damage numbers. So make sure you guys go ahead and watch how they're playing with the Pokemon. I believe right now they are playing Dodrio, which is going to be amazing too. So if you are looking to learn Dodrio, this is probably the person to learn from, as again, they are probably one of the best players in the league, or not in the league, but in the world as well. So make sure you guys go ahead and drop him a follow. Make sure you guys say hi from me, and I'll see you guys on the flip side. Deuces.
Are always usually pretty cited.
A good stream. Good job. It was fun casting with you again, Chopper.